Hey, Red Roadrunner. I got bones to pick. Hello, The Berg Show, Misha, Testicle, P-Day, Silver Wings. My people. Skippy B, Steph, Persephone, Good Judy. Make positivity louder. Vicky. Hey, Sin. Mac 11, hey. Always love, Brenda, Sandra. Susan, yay. Yay. Karen, Tara, Peggy, Clancy, Remy, Stephanie Green, I love you. It's good to see you. Hey, Charlie girl. Good to see you. You're a lifesaver. I was pulling my hair out. Well, I dozed off on the couch. And I got up and I read some stuff on Twitter and I was like, Sarah Broach, hey, question, why do we keep some of these people in the community? I got questions myself. Ash, you're blocked. I can't see you. Robin, Brenda, Skeeter, much love back. Norma. Sabrina, hey, Lil Kelly, Jules, Clancy. Already said hi to you. Nikki, you're welcome. Nanny C, Randy, you need to just do 8 hours of the fish tank noise and put it up. I agree with that. Because I sleep with that stuff. That's how I sleep. I have to sleep with white noise. Hey, Lavender, Kimberly. Alice, I haven't seen you. Dark. My pickle prince. It is relaxing, Nanny C. It helps me sleep. Crimson, living in shit. It relaxes your bladder. Honor Rose. Okay, so Lucy Luhu. Lucky Luhu. Shit. Nikki B. Sorry. I got a little bit of a headache. I should have made me a little cup of coffee. I've missed stuff. What's going on? Coco Loco. There's my homie. Hey, German lady. And nothing that I know of has really happened. IB Elf. Hey, Randy. Hope you and your Wills are doing well. IB Elf, I'm doing good. Joy Lang. Oh, did it? Got you to investigating more? Love Shack, Sugar Shack. Yes, I wish I had a Red Bull. I wonder if that's what my headache's from. Tyler. The one, the only. Hey, LV. L. I can't see you. I don't think you'd ever be blocked here, L. Thank you, next. Good to see you. So I'm reading on Twitter, and I saw some comments. Plurpy! So how do we exactly let someone in the community? I'm going to randomly pick somebody out of the side chat. Misha. That sounds good. When Misha started chatting, did we vote? Did we vote Misha, Plurpy, IBL, Vicky? Did we vote them in? Hey, teacher mom. Make it make sense that I've brought anyone into this community. Make that make sense. And I guarantee you the ones talking shit ain't going to show up. If only happens in the Discord cult. Hey, Eric. Why do I need permission to be part of a community? Thank you, American Badass. You don't. About we full comment. I'm here. No, I didn't say the we full comment. I'm sorry, I missed it. No one can be voted in or voted out. We can only block and ignore. Thank you, Sarah. I guess you just open the door and say welcome. Right. I'm going to be in and out. I'm having I'm sorry. Oh, no, always love. I'm so sorry. It was in reference to, well, I mean, listen, I knew you would be blamed for that. Of course, I'm blamed for that breaking the silence. Tupez. I'm being blamed for Tupez. Here's what happened. Kit Kat, I'm just going to say your name. Anybody else that wants to talk shit, I'll just say your name. I did not bring them in the community. I responded to a video that Pez made about me. Matter of fact, I gave him the name. Well, Remy kind of gave him the name Pez, but I started making fun of him. I handled it different than others. When someone makes fun of me or tries to come at me, I'm going to... Oh, this will definitely be an open panel if somebody wants to come up. When someone tries to drag me or... Yes, LaPoof. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to handle it one of two ways, depending on my mood. And I've said this before. Hey, Casey's in. Hey, Caslin, how you feeling? I'm not, listen, the only attention I'm giving him is I'm helping letting people in. It's not like we have a bouncer. Thank you, Izzy. Thank you. There just seem to be a lot of men lately doing it. Abusive men aren't being froze out. Hold on. And anybody's welcome to come up and debate me. Listen. My dog stood me. I'm sorry. Hey, Minnie. Yesterday felt like the welcome committee for Tupez. And that wasn't me. Poof, if there was a voting system. Now, I'm just going to tell you right now. If I see you fooling with Witty Widow or fooling with Beth, I'm probably not going to fuck with you. God, I didn't monetize this. If I see you fucking with them, I'm probably not going to fuck with you. Whether you're nice to me, mean to me, look up to me, call me your bestie, you fuck with those people, I'm not going to fuck with you. But don't go on Twitter. Don't go around YouTube saying Randall brought this person in the community when this person, Diane's doing real life. When this person brought theirself in the community. We have lost our minds lately, to be honest. She is dangerous and she's got a big ass mouth and I don't want anything to do with her. She's talked about my recovery. She's talked about my kids. Fuck you, Witty Widow. Fuck you. The thing she's done to Kit Kat is disgusting. I don't want anything to do with you. You're a pig from hell. Beth, you're a fucker. And you was making shit ass comments yesterday in people's comment section. And, but I can't make someone leave. Minnie, welcome to the Coco Loco. It's going to be gang gang. Well, these people must be yoga instructor because they're doing really good at reaching. Of course they are. Most know she's a no-go zone. But I can't be responsible for who is here, who is not. There's Tupez right here. Community striking a bunch of channels. Oh, wow. May I post my new Twitter, please? Of course you can. Of course I did, Mike 11. I still do. I don't think we can let people in the community, but I do think people have been bring dangerous people in. Savage brought Isaac. Well, listen, but Savage didn't bring Isaac. This is the joke's on her. I was watching that stream. Here's what's funny. Because last night I was watching Abe. And he was playing some old clips. Thank you, Liberty. Exactly. He was playing some old clips. And, you know, Isaac has owned Savage a few times, i.e., so I knew what you meant. And then I was watching when Savage, she hated Isaac. Hey, Rain Girl, all Isaac had to do was come in her stream and say, hey, hit me up. Oh, okay, Isaac. Okay. I saw it. So he inserted himself in the community to go after Katie. No, she's not doing Ladies Night tonight. She's got real life. Isn't he technically here because of his girlfriend? Why is Randy getting blamed? Thank you, Sergeant's wife. I'm getting blamed because I'm nice to people. Listen, I got Tupez came on panel, and I'm sorry to talk about you like you're not here, Tupez. He came on panel. We talked about drug use. We talked about this, that. That's all. I did not bring him here. BKK, who's been around for forever, so I think before me, hooked up with him. Hey, beautiful soul. So this bringing people in the community. Hey, Chevy. Facts are fleeting with me lately, Chevy. All right, then straighten my facts out, Chevy. I'm always one to learn from my mistakes. Even though I was watching. Hold on. Let's say, hold on. Tupez. I respect Chevy. I respect the hell out of Chevy. Even though I was watching. We don't let people in. He's been around. He was a TT supporter. Yes, I know why, Elle. It's just her real life. It's okay. Michael and Savage worked their issues out like 3 months ago before. Yep, I saw that. He came on panel and they apologized to one another. Saw that. Chevy's been around forever. Oh, I don't know, Michael Evan. I don't even watch TT. Then Isaac came in her stream because MFW asked Isaac to go with Savage. Oh, that's not what Isaac said on my panel when he came up, Chevy. Because Savage has been going at MFW for years. But maybe, okay, to each is their own. Michael is kid behind the camera. To each their own, Chevy. I still love your face off. Rissa, it don't matter. It don't matter. Chevy only knows what they tell him. I'm sorry, but I'm tired of this. Randy has never changed. She's always give thank you, P-Day. Dates back to Mama Bear. If you like Randy, you like Randy for her end up. Right. You know, Miss OMG out here saying if Randy continues 100%. I didn't hear him say that on Abe's stream, Chevy, and I listened. She said her live that she was going to get Isaac to go after Savage. Her words, not mine. Okay. I was watching the stream when, Isaac said Katie never contacted him, and I was watching when he said, I need to talk to you about something wonderful. I was watching. I have listening skills and reading skills, Chevy. He said, I need to talk to you about something wonderful. He came in her chat. Hey, Shanna. It don't matter, but he's here. But because he's out here doing what people want him to do, threaten women, he's cool. But because Tupez is here, it's my fault, right? You don't know about, I'm not talking about, you know what I'm talking about, Chevy. So why, nobody's upset at Savage for Isaac being here. But they're mad at Randy because Lucy, who's dishing it out too, I dished it out and I took it. Lucy's did. I don't think you should strike. Listen, I'm against striking people. Well, shoot, y'all. I just spilled something. Hold on. Hold on. I mean, it seems like we're just not calling out the right stuff. Here's lots of people come and go on the daily on YouTube. And yeah, but they think that I'm not going to get screenshots of what they said, or I'm not going to hear what they said. And I think that people on here forget that I got feelings and I don't control anyone. The only person on here I could control most of the time is myself. Agree, Tyler. Agree. We're grown. People choose to come and people choose to stay or leave. End of. This is ridiculous. Thank you. And what you'll see is the person that talks the most shit was supposed to be A, my friend, B, over in someone else's chat talking shit about me and loving the shit talk. Loving it. Not just liking it, but loving the shit talk. Now, how do y'all think that makes me feel? Right. I can't either, P-Day. Yeah, did y'all hear that mess? They went on my AirPods, but I snatched them up. Oh, shit. Did she fall over a fan again? Not yet. Mary, oh, are you confused? Don't be confused. I'm just saying, I'm sick of being blamed for people that come and go in this community. Because you know what? I don't hold the key, okay? And neither does Diane and Wendy. But whenever someone's upset with me, that first of all, you can come to me in DMs like I do people. Seems like you. No, listen, fair weather motherfuckers, they can kiss my ass, and that's the truth. Pardon my language, but listen, I'm learning lately who's fair weather. And if you're fair weather, you don't get to stay. Exactly, Coco Loco. No, I hold the key. Yeah, Amber K holds the key. Go after Amber. That'd be a nice change. You give people that much control. I love you too. We see you. You'll smoke now. I don't want to share with my girlfriend. Girlfriends? Girls' friends. Okay. Sorry, Pooh. Exactly, Lavender Sunday. And look, I don't want to play. Yeah, I turned them off. I got so many people like hating on me right now. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not begging y'all to give me thumbs up. I don't understand. It brings the community. Not upset with you. I just don't get the sudden presence all over. Listen, Amelia, we've seen that before, have we not? The sudden presence is okay. So I let him on panel, and then everybody had an opinion. So then he's going to feel the need to defend himself. That's what's going on. Is B okay? She'll be better. Hey, Sideshow. Who likes a lot of different creators. I don't hate anyone. Thank you, Sissy. Shouldn't hate anyone. You shouldn't hate people for whose chat they go in. Does it hurt my feelings a little bit if I'm being shit talked on a panel? It does a little bit. It does hurt my feelings. But I'm not gonna be done with you. Yes, beautiful soul. That's him. He's here somewhere. Thank you, P-Day. Do get shit on for being nice. If you poke the bear, don't be surprised when they poke. Exactly. And he poked all day. He's getting stirred up. I got Lucy in my DM saying, thank you for telling him to strike me. When I said yesterday, I'm like, then you know what you could do. I didn't mean strike. I meant make peace. Frick. I will, Dirk. I will. Left the keys on the counter. Two-Pez made a copy, came in. You should be punished. Punished, I say. Yes, and I told him to leave women alone. What more do y'all want from me? My blood? You ain't getting my blood on YouTube. You haters. Laughed so hard at your video of Randy slapping Shim. Speaking of Shim, where is Dana? Amber does always have to. It's almost like she rehearses, trying to get someone to see the light. Mate, I was trying, but if go raise some comments on Twitter. Hey, whoever let him in YouTube, whoever let him in the community. She's planning to clean up or tear down YouTube. Oh, Dana was all her panel crying. Really? I'm not subscribed to Dana. But you were asking him to leave Lucy alone. I'm confused. Right, Lavender. So I am just as confused, Dana Banana, just as confused as anyone else at these people. Okay? I can't see Lucy's tweets. I'm sure she's tweeting about me. Lucy, I've never blocked you. You're welcome to come in here. If you got something to say, come say it. Anybody else that wants to say, okay, like Miss OMG says, I'm gonna cancel my membership with Randy. What, Miss OMG? Are you serious? I've been nothing but good to you. So you want me to be bad to others? Brenda Hart, they don't try to interpret it right. They listen, I feel like you got some stuff to say. You want to come up, Minnie? Hey, Lester Mary. What's wrong with your face? And where have you been? Got a 5-star notebook. Ah. We all float down here. That's scary. I see. Okay, let me get you a link, Minnie. Lady Beekeeper with her beautiful accent. Please don't be mad at Dana. Believe it or not, you have many things in common. There, Minnie. Just because you like somebody doesn't mean I have to tell you about it. Thank you, Alice. Exactly. You know, the people talking shit are the people that rode hard for Katie and went against everything that Katie stood for how long? And I mean, went with everything that Katie stood for how long? But I'm the bad person because I'm decent to two pairs. Randy be letting the riffraff in. So what do me and Dana have in? Neither one of us are psychologists. We have that in common. I don't care who you are. That's funny.
Hello.
Hi, Minnie.
I got a new mic. Does it sound okay?
You're kind of echoing.
Yeah, let me mute this. Hold on one second. Okay. Let me put my headphones on real quick.
Okay. I try, Brenda. I try. So basically, two pets is on the community probation for 90 days, and we do community service for 240 hours, and then we may. Yes. That's exactly what's going on. Hey, Robin, Grania, too. It's good to see you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, I guess I just wanted to come up here and say I've been gone for a while dealing with real life stuff, but whatever. I come back and everybody's attacking everybody for people that are in the community that shouldn't be here. But we grown ass people. I mean, we can't control other grown ass people. It just doesn't work that way. Am I echoing still?
Kind of, a little bit.
Yeah. Dang it. Hold on. 1 second. Okay, is that better?
Hi, Mackenzie. Yeah, that is better.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. So, I don't know.
I agree, Joy Lane. Wait, are you here, Minnie? Oh, now we can't hear at all. I was hearing an echo, echo, echo. Now she's gone, gone, gone. Hey, Lanky Tour. It is good to see Liberty. She dropped out. She may need the link again. There are those that come into the community that everyone thinks is okay, but then you find it. Listen, it's a wait and see kind of game. But who am I? I didn't kick her off, Mo. And now she's gone. Minnie, come back. Who is appointed to decide who's allowed? Right. Breaking news. Guess Mom Isaac, I have a problem with Tupez. I don't get it. Listen, I don't hate Isaac at all. Starlight came into RDA and really disappointed us. Thank you for sharing that. I love Starlight a lot. How did she disappoint you? Because she likes someone that you don't like? Is that fair, Nat? Let me ask you that. Is that fair?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Is it echoing still?
No.
Thank God. I don't know what is going on over here.
Hey, Jamie Lynn.
Sorry about that.
Right. She didn't do as she was told, so they don't want to be her friend anymore. I'm disappointed in y'all.
Yeah, what is
RDA.
that? What is that? When did we start that part of life where we can't be friends with people that are friends with people we don't like? When did we start that?
Right. Well, there's some people on here that can't. You know, Katie, you say, I don't fuck with people that fuck with people that I don't fuck with. And that I never would get on board with. And she knew that about me. And I kept it clear to Katie when we were friends back then. I'm going to be friends with who I want, and no one is going to tell me.
Exactly.
And I'll say that, Nat, if y'all loved her before, you would love her now. So, and that's all I could say. I mean, I will take up for Marianne all day long.
Well, I just wanted to say that, you are your own person. We are all our own people. And if we want to be friends with someone that someone else doesn't like, well, too bad for them. If they feel like some kind of way that they're being like insulted because you're friends with that person, well, then they need thicker skin and they need to reevaluate what friendship means to them, because that's not fair. It's extremely childish. I have many friends who are friends with people I cannot even stand to hear breathe, let alone be friends with, but that's their life. That's their choice. I don't get a say over that.
No.
It's just not fair. What is I don't know if anyone in the chat is being that way. I haven't seen that. But for those of you that might be listening that are that way, what the hell is wrong with you? Grow up.
Right. We're on here for fun. We're not on here to. We're not. Who died and left made us the judge? God's not hiring. Knock it off.
Right, exactly. Look, I'm not religious. I left the church a long time ago, but I do remember that in the Bible it does say there is only one judge, and none of us are that. Unless our name is Jesus. And my name is not Jesus.
That's right.
I mean, but it's just ridiculous. I know I haven't been around for a lot of this. I've been like, I have missed so much interesting shit while trying to be good and boring.
It stands for Ross Dog Army. Because I said Ross Dog Association and someone corrected me. It's Ross Dog Army is what RDA stands for.
Amber. Amber is Jesus now in your chat. Yep, she's the judge. Hello,
Nat,
Starlight.
That's a bitch move, Nat. Now.
I absolutely loved hearing Hello, Starlight the other day. Absolutely loved it. I loved hearing Laura as well. That was incredible. Like, I loved hearing them talk. I've never heard them talk before, so that was really good. Meet new people all the time. Yeah, I know none of the people in here are, but don't go like bullying people like Randy or anyone else. We are all allowed to have friends that we want. There is never going to be a time where every one of your friends is going to like every one of your friends.
Right.
Unless, it's just crazy time and you live in paradise, I guess, or you're a dictator, which I'm sure we know some of those people.
Oh yeah.
But I
Yeah.
mean, like, chill, like, eat some Skittles, taste the rainbow or something, have a Coke and a smile, and just chill. You know, eat some fruit and sit down.
I will bully whoever I want to. Okay, bitch.
Oh.
Here you go, Nat.
Not me though.
Nat. Here, Nat. There's you a linky link.
You can try to bully me, but that'll be funny.
Well, I think he's talking. Oh, was he talking to you? I thought he might be talking to me.
I don't know who he's talking to. What did
It's
Nat
one of
do
them
now?
that I don't like. I just move on. No need for goodbyes. Thank you. Or no need. Since Randy was nice to Tupez, I'm not joining her thing. If I could lose you that quick, y'all have heard me say this a million times.
Mm-hmm.
If I can lose you that fast, I never had you. I'm hard to lose. I stick. I may get mad at you 1,000 times, but I will not.
Oh my God.
Know. Is it Nat Clo? I don't even know Nat Clo. Like from RDA, I only know, and I say no lightly, Cosmic, and I've had a little bit with Ross Dog, just a little conversation. That's it.
Who said that they were gonna kill their subscription if you were friends with or spoke to whatever?
That I saw a screenshot from Miss OMG, who I like Miss OMG, and I don't want anybody to go at her crazy.
Right. I just think that's so childish, though.
Good people that know the difference between right and wrong. Hashtag I stand with Lucy. Well, you know what, Cindy Smiles? I stand with Lucy too. Now, how dumb do you feel right now? Dummy?
I don't even know who Lucy is, but that was funny.
I ain't said shit about Lucy. I just want them to quit talking about each other. It's stupid at this point. Hashtag bearded dragons. That's right.
Amber, but think about the muscles, right? Your arms are going to be so fucking built. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. Wait, are you monetized? Can I cuss or no?
I didn't monetize this stream.
Okay.
What the heck is going on? I was on a phone call. Oh, just some people saying I let Tupez in the community. Blah blah blah.
Clearly, Amber has already said that that she is the one who lets people in, but she lost her keys. So we're going to have to forgive that and just realize that, you need to grow up. It doesn't matter who comes in here. We don't let people in here. I don't let people in here. None of the bigger YouTubers like in our community, like Randy, let people in here. There is no freaking police department where we're like, let me check your papers. Yep, you can enter. Yep. Let me stamp your passport. Okay, grow up and get over it. And if you can't support someone because they happen to speak to someone or they don't share the same dislike of that person that you do, then you need some new priorities. You need to move on because clearly you weren't as loyal as you thought you were.
Miss Michelle, exactly. He did start with her and he said that. Listen to me. It takes two to go back and forth. Oh, we're getting a knock. Oh, it's German lady.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
German lady.
Hello.
Okay, y'all, we got a PayPal. So many psychologists on YouTube and so little time to sit on their couches. Hashtag stellar.
Hello, Minnie. Is this Miss Midwestern Mary?
No, this is Minnie Low.
I've been gone for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. It's a little bit unfair to say that Randy brought him over here. That's not really the case. I mean, she did not say, "Come on over here and offer me a beating by your bisexual hands or something." That was not the case. Yeah.
My God.
But, I kind of, people word it a little bit, should word it a little bit different. I think what yesterday was a little bit too much of this guy. It was like he was on your panel. He was on FODs. He was on Ash or tried to get on Ash. He was on Trisha. He's like everywhere lately. And I think that people, and you were the first one, so people kind of blame you. It's unfair, but we can control who we let on our platforms too. I mean, it's like a little bit this, but you did not really bring him over here. Yeah.
No, because he's dating somebody that's been in our community for a long time. And but here's the thing: when he was, I don't know what all he talked about on FODs. I only went in FODs long enough to get blocked when I said "F you, Mama Beth." And I don't know what he said on anybody else's panel because I had work, but what I said to him on my panel was, I don't want you to call women names. You shouldn't do that. And I don't want you going after women. It's a bad look. That's the things that I said. Now, what anybody else said, I don't know.
Yeah, what this community absolutely needs is more men who call women the C word and come for women. Well, that's what this community needs way more of. We have a shortage of men on here. We have Rel sitting in his chair like he's about to get baptized. We have Dave the fisherman. You know what? I have no problems with them personally, but I don't condone what they're doing necessarily. And I'm not really a fan of Dave being in this community either. And it's like, why we don't get the good men in here? Where are the good men? Come on, Stellar. Why are you not taking your ass up on panels? Where are the good men? Where is True Teller and his deep robot voice? And where are all these people?
Women do call women the C word all the time. It's just different for a man to do it. It just is.
I personally don't care. A man can call me whatever he wants because that doesn't change who I am.
Yeah.
He can say whatever he wants. He can call me whatever he wants. Any girl can call me whatever they want because that does not change my thoughts of myself and who I am. It just means that they have no couth, and that's all there is.
Well, this is what I would say. If I start it, then I'm in the middle of it, and I'll deal with it. You know, if I'm going at a man, I expect him to give it back to me just as hard as I'm going at him, and you'll never hear me complain about it.
Exactly. Yep.
But the thing is, though, did these women go after him first? Because he came after you for no reason, Randy. He came for Amanda Lynn for really no reason, for Ash 274.
I didn't know
Laura didn't even know who that guy was, and he called her the C word. So, I mean.
Hey, true helper. Right. See, you got to please keep in mind, I didn't know that. I woke up to like 10 messages that he was calling people, women, these words, this, that. And so I messaged him, or no, I got him on panel. I'm like, listen, this is what we tolerate. This is what we don't tolerate. Da, 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 da. That is what my stream was. And so whatever, like I said, whatever happened on Trish's panel, if he went up there, did you say he did or did not go on her panel?
I think he was on there, and he was on Wendy V's too with her or something. So he's making the rounds lately. I mean, I should not talk about people jumping on panels because I'm probably one of the biggest panel whores on this thing. But
oh, I love me a good panel whore, German lady.
And listen, I wasn't brought in here to either. I got a platform by Diane. If Diane wouldn't have let me up that one day, I probably would never be in this community. I'll be honest. It was Diane who introduced me basically to this community.
I strong-armed my way here and annoyingly asked for links until someone let me up.
I don't even know how I got here. I mean, if you read my Twitter, it says, hell, I don't even know at this point. And I mean that. Like, I don't even know what community I'm in anymore.
Randy,
I do know. Yes.
Off topic. I'm so sorry. Before I forget, did you know that Marilyn Manson has a new album out?
Hell yes.
Okay, just making sure. Carry on, please.
I proposed to him yesterday.
Oh, goodness.
Well, I hit him up every day, just in case.
Just in case. You ready, though? You ready for the day he says yes?
Yes.
What you gonna do? We'll be like, you'll be at Wendy's. You'll read your Twitter. Oh, my God. He said yes. I got to go. Bye.
Yep. Bye, y'all.
Chicken nuggets in the back. I got to go.
I already warned my husband. The day he says yes, you're going to have to share me. One of these days, Randy will be Randy Manson. Yes.
My husband and I fight over Benedict Cumberbatch, so there's that.
You should have stopped.
Oh.
You said your husband and you argue over cum, and then you said, Jesus Christ.
It wouldn't surprise me. My husband is a hilarious man.
And Pez, I'm telling you, listen, the minute Beth gets up there is the minute you're blocked from everything, because she's going to get up there and she's going to dog me. Because why? That's all Beth knows how to do. Beth won't talk to me one-on-one. Beth won't confront me. Beth won't speak to me. And that is something that I believe BKK knows the history of me and Beth. Beth is a liar. Okay, here's what she's going to say. You were doxxed if they read this, because Randy did the same to me. No, Beth. No, Beth. I didn't read your name. I love you too, Morty. I didn't read your real name. I didn't read anything about you. I didn't read. There's so much more in that report I could have read and didn't. Keep saying that I'm lying. Keep saying that that's a fake report when we know who hired somebody, paid for it. It wasn't me, but it's true. So I'm telling y'all, BKK is a ride or die for Mom and Beth's world. And everybody needs a ride or die, but I get to choose who's in my bubble.
I would love to go head to head with her.
Some people, anyway, I'm not going there.
If she utters your name in any poor context, she will be booted. You get ready. Get ready to boot. Because I'm telling you right now, she's going to utter my name, Pez. I promise you.
I just want one good panel with me and her together, because I can't stand her. And I'd love to just tell her to her face.
Exactly. And the only thing I outed the truth about her is she is not a licensed psychologist.
No, she's not. And let me tell you why. Because I have called the board. Yes, Beth, I called the board myself. They have no clue who you are. None. And I used every amalgamation of your name that is out there on the internet, and they do not know who you are.
Miss OMG, now listen to me. I said I loved you to death. I said it hurt my feelings when I saw the screenshot. And I said, please no one say anything mean to her. It absolutely hurt my feelings. They do die quickly. But listen, everybody needs good friends. Everybody needs a ride or die on here. Everybody, even Beth. But I'm telling you, she is obsessed with me. Yeah, I have a screenshot.
I can think of a few different things that she needs before a ride or die, but you know.
And the reason, Miss OMG, is because I like you. If I didn't mean, how do you say your name, Minnie?
Okay, so everyone does not realize that this is actually an anagram of my actual name, or my actual first online name, which is Naomimi. So it's just Minnie Mayo.
Minnie, okay. Yeah. I gotta go, but as you can see, Randy, I'm still a member. I gotta go, but we'll see you later. Well, I'm sorry that you have to go, and I do take the word of you. Oh, yes. Please, everyone, bow your heads for the turkey. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you as we know that Thanksgiving is quickly approaching, and we're asking you to put it in Beth's heart to please cook a ham this year, dear Lord. Please, all the turkeys in the world will thank you, and I'm sure that her family will thank you as well. In Jesus' name, amen. There we go.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. In remembrance of Mr. Gobbles.
I never thought I'd tell the entire community I could do that.
Yeah.
It just seemed fitting. Miss German Lady, it looks like the grass might be attacking you in your picture. Are you okay?
That wasn't me. That is like
oh no, that's
footage of Kim Fisher partying last weekend.
Oh, I love Kim Fisher.
I like her too, but I like her avatar when she's smiling out of the bushes.
I love that too.
What I was about, I don't know. I have a good advice for Topaz. Topaz over there in Boyd, and I'm a little bit peeking lately over there. over there in Boyd are many male creators. Like there are many startups who are pretty new over there in the Boyd. You would have a field day with these guys on their panels, on talking about them, argue. You can build your channel in short time over there in the Boyd. There's really no need to argue with us pre and post menopausal women over here. There's really no need.
I'm sorry.
The tragedy of the turkey prayer. Thank you.
German lady, I love you.
I love you too. I love everyone. Despite the contrary to popular beliefs, I even love blind people. You know, I have a reputation. I love everyone.
I know you do.
Almost.
I don't even know the story behind that, but it was so random for her to say that to me that I just thought it was the most funny. Like, I even love blind people.
Randy knows.
I know, and that's why I'm just like, no.
Yeah, stopped it right in the tracks. Yeah.
But now you can say the one, the only.
The one, what?
The one, the only.
Kim Laurie.
No.
What? Oh, you talk about the woman that made her comeback, like in the chat earlier.
Whitney.
I have breaking news. I have breaking news for everyone. She's back. She was in a chat earlier. I'm not gonna say in whose chat, out of respect, but she was in a chat earlier. She came in under her backup account. She is known for recording audio. She's known for having files on many people. Mandy Bell is back.
Randy, do you have Smokey P blocked?
No, he's here. I think Randy accidentally has me blocked. I can't see you, Smokey. Where are you?
Oh my God. Every time I come into Randy's chat, I feel like I've been drinking for years.
I know.
Are we talking about Kim Fisher again?
No. No.
Just kidding.
I wouldn't blow. I can't even freaking talk.
See, you drunk.
Smokey.
Just
call
the ambulance. I'm having a stroke.
Yes. I would not
Two-Pass, you should check out the Boyd. Watch Quindarius and you find everyone else who is around that area. You will have a field day over there. It's really no need for a guy your age arguing with us. And I'm talking about older women. I'm close to 40. None of us are spring. We're I mean, unless you like the MILFs and the GILFs, Two-Pass, just, I mean, nothing wrong with that, but yeah.
Well, I think he's live on his own channel now. Not that I like to advertise, but you know, he's got to have. Is that actually her? Who knows? Warrior Grandma.
I find it kind of funny when his mother in the background is giving him the bullet points while he's talking.
Who was doing that?
That's Two-Pass.
Oh, that's not his mom. That's his girlfriend.
What? My bad. I'm sorry.
That's going to give someone a complex.
I don't really watch him like that.
You are such an asshole.
I don't know these people.
His mom. Oh my God. German lady's the best. Although I feel kind of bad just calling you German lady.
Well, we don't know what else to call her. What, you've never gave us another name to call you.
I could tell you, but
don't leave that open-ended, German lady. We might come up with something you don't like. You can't leave that much silence in after that statement.
No, but it is kind of funny, you know. He's trying to tell us whose bitch is the next one he's talking about, and then she's in the background. This is a trial.
Can we get that one more time? How is she speaking?
But that's the trial.
Oh my God, she even acted it out. Oh, Jesus Christ.
German.
You better not make a video on me, little boy. I'm asking you nicely.
I just want to go ahead and make clear that I'm in the premenopausal section of that description she gave earlier. Just wanted everyone to know that.
I don't think she has an older lady. Somebody said the older lady voice. I don't think she does either. It's the Boston accent. The Boston accent is just the only person it's sexy on is my girl Bridget.
I was called an older lady the other day. You know Alpo, Randy?
Yes.
The dog
He's
food?
funny. You know, me and him, we're kind of bickering lately, and he told me on G Mangoes, he
Blue
told me,
Ridge.
wait a minute, I have to try to you know, he likes to say queen, I love you, queen. And he said, German lady, you are an older lady. He's funny.
Yeah, he used to come in and flirt with me and then he stopped. I don't know.
Yeah.
Blue Ridge, how's the baby?
Did Blue Ridge have a baby?
Yes, and her baby.
Oh.
I don't think her voice sounds mature. Alpo is
Jesuit trained.
You know, Alpo never forgave me for the first time I spoke to him. I was wondering where his accent is coming from, and I told him, "Are you an Indian scammer?" And for some reasons, he was not too fond hearing that.
Oh, bless his
Mm.
heart.
Every time I see Alpo, I just think dog food. So from your description, it sounds
That's
like it
not even
probably
his real name.
fits.
His real name is Alpha. Is it just Alpha?
Alpha Wolf.
Alpha Wolf. Yeah.
I thought you said alpha balls. I'm like, well, that's bold.
Well, I don't know about the size of his balls. I don't want to know.
Oh.
No, I just want to know, what we all really want to know is how long does it take and how many Sharpies does it take to paint on that beard, Mr. Two-Pass?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He's not here anymore. He's live on his
It's like gluing on hair from like his ass or somewhere.
That's like paint by numbers.
And he's only 26 years old. He's just he's just a baby.
26 years old is not a baby, Randy. You are being too forgiving.
No, I happen to own a 27-year-old daughter.
Own a 27.
Yes, and I own a 25-year-old son.
But that's your mama coming out. You can't be thinking about that about everybody. Because at 26 years old, I knew exactly what I was doing.
I knew what I was doing, but I also, you don't realize how immature you are at 26 till you get to be 36. And then you don't realize how immature you was at 35. Because I haven't been 46 yet, but I'm 45. So I know how immature I was then.
I'm supposed to be 41 on January, but that's not happening.
Oh, just stay 40, honey.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's correct. And last year, my grandma gave me a Hello Kitty birthday cake for my 40th birthday because she loves me.
Oh.
And she put the candle that said 18, and I was like, yes, you're getting all the Christmas presents.
You know, it's kind of sad, Devil Spawn, that Brian St. John is like the measuring stick for males in this community.
That's so bad. On a
Every
scale
time a male
from 1 to Brian St. John, where is Two-Pass?
Yeah.
We got damn it, Two-Pass blocked it, motherfucker.
She's so funny, I swear. Yes, AKA itty bitty.
That itty bitty tattletales are
Why is it funnier when she's far away?
I don't know. It is.
It sounds like she's yelling in the background.
Oh my God.
He's yelling
Oh.
from the other room. That's what he said the other day. He said, she's in the other room and I could hear her. And she was talking about somebody. And I said, BKK just told you that. And he said, how do you know? I said, I heard her.
Hey, too, Michelle, do you see my vibrator? Have you seen my vibrator sound?
Oh my God. Hey, y'all, just a heads up, if y'all hear something that sounds like a tiny baby crying, I am not neglecting a child. I do not have a child. That is my cat who thinks he is an infant child. And he meows back to back and it sounds like a baby crying. And now that I'm working from home, I have to explain that to the technicians that I have to call. Be like, oh, do you need to tend to your baby? I'm like, no, ma'am. That's my cat.
Like a dragon, my grandchild.
My grandchild.
Have you posted baby toes? Have you posted baby toes picture somewhere, Minnie?
No.
I hope not.
Oh my goodness. My daughter, she just moved out, thank God. And she took 2 cats with her. So now I'm down to 2 cats.
My baby cat's name is Ignatius. We call him Iggy.
Oh.
Yeah. One time we were in, some of y'all have heard this. One time we were in Books A Million, and we heard this woman. And she was such a Karen. And she's going, Ignatius, Ignatius, come to mommy, we're leaving. And you see this little kid stopping for it. He goes, I told you to call me Iggy, Mom. And I died. So now my cat's name is Ignatius, but we call him Iggy.
Hashtag Lanky Tour. Dump Trump 2020 bitches.
Are you familiar with Michelle K, Randy?
Yeah.
She attempted to go live the other day. She had a Trump 2020 hat on. It was
Oh God.
Oh no. See, there is no way I would get on here and talk about politics, religion. Listen, we all got into it, and don't get Minnie started because damn, I saw your TikToks.
No, don't get me started.
No.
But no, I have a lot of things to say.
I know you do. And I appreciate that. But that's the one thing is people will never know where I stand. Do I love Trump? Maybe. Do I hate Trump? Maybe. I'll never say,
I will. I hate Trump. So take it as you want.
Religious, maybe. Do I worship the devil? No, I don't worship the devil, but I'm not going to talk about my religion on here.
I will. I'm not religious at all.
Well, but people, Randy's trying to bring us to the Lord. I'm unsubscribing.
Oh Lord. Listen, that's another thing, people. Come on. I know none of these in here are saying that, but like anybody who's listening, it's like, come on. The same way that only Amber can bring people into the community, Randy cannot make you go to her religion. If you don't want to hear it, just mute it or go away.
Yes. I cannot make you vote for Trump or vote for Biden. It's not up to me. It's up to you. Vote.
Don't be sorry for me, Brenda. And that's the last time I'll say, Randy. I promise.
I'll say that. That's not on me. That's why this morning I thought we were going to have verbal fisticuffs, as what's his face says in the chat, over the Breonna Taylor case. So
we ain't gonna say nothing about that either. Well, no. I think we're all in agreement on that one. I hope we are all in agreement on that one.
Well, I guess but all the way around, it's terrible. And that's just where we need to leave it, because people feel strongly about stuff like that. Mama 3 homos.
I love you.
What the hell just happened?
She's just putting a business all out there.
You do have a history of bringing abusive people into this community.
Oh, shut up.
The people here are vulnerable. Well, maybe they should grow not just one ball, but 2 balls, Mama 3 homos.
Mama 3 homos, not to mention that your despite your colorful icon, your name is quite insulting, no matter if you are the mom of actual 3 homosexuals. But second of all, the age to be on YouTube is 13. So if anyone's got a problem with people that come around Randy, since she does not grab them off the street and bring them into YouTube, then they need to reevaluate their life, because you can't sit there and say that she has a history of bringing in abusive people when we are grown ass people and we come in here of our own volition. So get the fuck over it. Move on, and if you don't like it, you know where the exit is.
You need another Shelby for that beard? I have another Shelby for you, darling.
Oh my God.
Caslin, do you really think I'm the devil? I'm here doing the I done said a prayer and everything on here tonight. You think I'm working for the devil? You kidding?
Mackenzie, is that really who it is?
What?
A certain dirty meatball fake therapist?
Oh, I don't. There's no way to know. Hell, I usually could tell her accounts, but she usually doesn't comment till after the stream is over, and then she really thinks she's getting me good with some that's comment, and I'm just like, Beth, get a life.
Randy, I'd like to address something really quickly. Brenda Hart, if you have something to say to me, then you should take it to another platform, because we're not going to discuss whatever you have against me right now, because this is not my panel. Do I have opinions? Yes. Am I human? Yes. Am I allowed to have them? Yes. Do I care that you care? Absolutely fucking not. So move the fuck on.
I care about you, so stay right here. She is opinionated, by the way.
Very.
Is it a brand new account? She's on Pez's talking shit. Is she talking shit about me? Somebody go listen. Somebody go listen.
Oh, stream his ass.
I'm afraid to. He's a striker now.
Oh, yeah. That's
And somehow that turns out to be my fault, huh, Lucy?
see, Topaz, that's a bitch move, though. You go on you go on your videos and talk shit about every woman on here, and then you get like a response and then you strike. Come on.
Mama Bear isn't here anymore. Poor old Mama Bear. I wonder what she's doing.
I don't think I care.
I wonder if she misses me. Calling Stellar a liar?
Stellar's not a liar. I've never known Stellar to lie.
No. No, Stellar came in with truth. But what the hell? I thought the only thing that they agreed on was that Stellar brought the truth to the table. Come on. Yeah, she's alive as far as I know.
Mackenzie. I was asking myself the same question because I ain't seen hide nor hair of her. Not that I want to, but I was curious.
You know, nothing shocks me anymore. Being there is still alive.
I don't know this gent you're speaking of, but I'd like to hear him to call me a bitch on panel. Just saying. How does Topaz earn that weed money?
Sucking dick.
Unemployment, actually. And the reason I know that is because I heard his woman yelling from the background, "Go ahead, German lady."
Well, damn it, I'm stealing all this paper money for that weed.
Oh my God. Oh, you are my new favorite.
Bar shaking my titties for these guys. Tip you very well.
I am not his mother.
You did that well, mother.
Mother.
I'm not his mother. It's none of you guys' business. None of you guys' business how old I am. Hell, I've done went into a Spanish accent. I can't do accent.
Every accent I have, it kind of turns into like a mix between a Middle Eastern, Russian, like Spanish accent. So it's always like, "Oh, hello, kitty cat. What are you doing? Yes, I love you. Yes, it's very nice."
See, I think you already ran off my Brenda Hart.
Oh, that's okay though. She was mean.
I don't know, Evelyn. I just overheard. She's nice to me. I just
because you're not opinionated.
No, I am. I just don't give my opinion on politics or religion.
No, Vicky. Just so y'all know, my old Twitter got banned for me calling a Trump supporter a bimbo, and so I'm not exactly sure why that warranted for my account to be permanently suspended, but it did. So I have a new one, and I will post it in the chat for those of you that do not understand why I'm not posting on my old one. But that's because apparently bimbo is a sinful word. So I'll post that now.
I know you're not, Brenda Hart.
I'm gonna hop off. Thanks, Randy, for having me on. Nice to meet you, Minnie.
Oh, it's so
love
nice to
you
meet
all.
you.
I hope I didn't offend too much people. You guys in the chat, take care. German lady has left the building.
I do apologize, Brenda. I do apologize. I am very opinionated, and I know that not everyone agrees with me. So I do apologize, and I'm sorry for saying that you were mean.
Oh, that's right. Hey, Carrie, why? Smokey P, do you want to come up and talk about the latest happenings around you? Got a little bit of a headache.
You know, True Helper, I'm sorry you have a headache, Randy. Am I talking too loud?
No. It's sinuses.
Okay. True Helper, I did ask that myself. I am appealing my ban. I'm kind of enjoying my new Twitter, to be honest. It's kind of like a new start, but I do want them to know that what they did was not correct. Every time.
Sorry, I didn't
That's
interrupt.
okay. No, that's fine. It's your channel. Every time I've been locked or partly banned, it's because I've said something to a high-ranking Trump supporter. So I do think that this is incorrect. And if what's her name? What's that girl that I don't like? What's that? Anyway, she's a big YouTuber, like big. If she can put her porno on Twitter, I should be able to say bimbo. I'm just saying.
Trisha Paytas?
Yes. How did you know that when I said porno? I love you.
Hard pass. I love you, though, very, very much. Hard pass, Smokey P said. Okay. I completely understand. You could have just said pass instead of hard pass. That's all right. I forgive you. As long as you're okay. Yeah, my Twitter got suspended for calling someone a back page hoe.
That's horrible. Like, what the heck? Like, you see all these people like you dropping the F-bomb and everything, and then then I get banned for saying bimbo. She gets banned for saying back page hoe. I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all. And I don't know if they're using an algorithm or if it's from reporting or what.
Sarah, you don't have anything to apologize for. I love a good debate. And I would love for somebody to come up and debate Minnie on how Trump sucks. Meatball may have reached an all-time low, paneling up on.
Oh my God. Oh, Linky. What was Linky Tor? What are you apologizing for? What were they apologizing for?
Because she started the Trump talk.
Oh, no problem, man. I know I have a very conservative family, and so I know when I can just not talk about it. So it's okay.
Two talking. 13 viewers and two talking. Oh, and I'm not making fun. You know, I mean, I'm laughing, but you know, we've all been there. I remember when 13 was big to me, but it's, we know I can tell you right now, 2 of the watchers just waiting for their name to be said. And I don't do that. There's a whole stream right now where I guarantee my name's going to come up. Do they think I care? Hell no, I don't care. Because if I wanted your opinion, I would have asked you. I know who I am. We renamed him to Two Plot.
True Helper wants a link, but they said it'd take a minute, like a few minutes.
Oh, okay. Let me know when you want the link.
No, I am not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not a Trump supporter.
Me too, Lavender. Me too. I ain't saying.
You know, my best friend and I, my real-time best friend, like, we can talk about everything. But see, I was raised in the Catholic Church, and I have since left the church, all church. And I don't begrudge anyone their beliefs at all. Like, you have a belief, that's fine. I'm there for it. Okay. But her and I can only never talk about religion. Like, she gets heated with me because she's very religious. Not very religious, but
I'll show y'all right now. Right. Me and my best friend disagree on everything. And well, I started to call her, but I won't call her. It's kind of like, but we argue about every religion. We can't talk about religion. We can't talk about the coronavirus. I mean, because she thinks she has conspiracy theories, and I'm all about a good conspiracy theory. But tell that to Granny, that just passed away, or someone that we know, and I love you so much, Lavender Sunday, that's lost loved ones to it. We know that it's not a conspiracy, it's not a put on.
Well, see, here's the reason. Like my best friend delivers babies, so she's in the medical field, and she sees all of this. She has to watch the families because at her hospital, only one person, and they cannot change. Only one single person can be in the room when the babies are born. So, and if that person has to leave, they cannot substitute that person for anyone else. So what you're seeing is like one day I went to go have lunch with her. You're seeing these families that are just, it's the saddest thing ever, but you're seeing these families setting up their like congratulations and their seats and everything outside underneath the window of the hospital room. And it's just the saddest thing ever. And then I went to pharmacy school, and so like we have great medical discussions, but when it comes to religion, that's about the only thing we don't agree on. We agree on everything else, but when it comes to religion, no. Also, we don't agree on cleaning, because I am lazy when it comes to cleaning. I'm not nasty, but I'm lazy, and I don't do my dishes immediately, and she does. So yeah, that's the other thing we don't agree on.
Yeah, my best friend, she's a clean freak, and I'm clean, but it don't have to be done right then.
Exactly. That's the way I am. Like, my husband and I, we like big Korean meals. I've converted him to Korean meals, and that takes a lot of dishes to make. And I want to eat and then like chill. I don't want to eat and then do the dishes. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Oh, that's awesome, Smokey. I was a farm tech and it made me fall in love with pharmacy. I did start pharmacy school, but I couldn't work at the same time, and my husband was drowning in bills, so I had to stop. Cass, why Korean? I started out in Japanese, but I couldn't read it. There's 3 different sets of alphabet, the hiragana, kana, and katakana, and I really could not learn how to read that, so I moved to Korean and started learning Korean history, which then taught me into Korean language.
Yeah, she knows a lot about Korean stuff. I don't know. The way that you write, and I don't know. I can't.
What, in Korean?
Yeah.
Korean's super easy, dude. Super easy. And I'm not just like, I will tell you right now, learning to speak Japanese was super easy because of the way they pronounce things. And they pronounce things that, it's just a very kind of staccato. Do you know what that means? I'm not saying that you're dumb, but it's a musical term. It's very staccato. So it's like tuk, 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 tuk. Right? Korean is very flowing like English. Japanese was very easy to pronounce, but it is incredibly difficult to read and write. It's incredibly different because they don't even have alphabets. They have pictorial graphs that represent the word, where Korean actually has an alphabet with 3 or 4 more letters than we have. So it's an actual alphabet that you can learn. It's not just these pictures represent this word, it's an actual alphabet. 특히 한국말 김블리? 네, 알겠습니다. BTS, 방탄소년단, but I know that's not who you're talking about.
Oh, really, Dirk? Okay, go top it off with it. She also kills cats.
Who kills cats?
Facts, Beth.
Oh God, she's
Brenda, thank you for coming in. I mean, not lately, but in the past, she thinks it's okay to shoot barn cats, as she called them. Don't feed them. Let's kill them.
Vicky, I have a hard enough time talking my language after a hard day at work. When I've realized now that my cats respond to my anger better in Korean, like if they're doing something bad, they respond more quickly to Korean because it's a harsher anger tone. So if I said, no, don't get on that counter, but if I said, ande, they're like, oh shit, and they run. I don't know how to say thank you in Korean. Thank you in Korean is easy. It's 감사합니다. 감사합니다. But when you say it quickly, the H disappears. So it's just 감사합니다. I read it. 감사합니다. There we go. And it's like a roller coaster. If you can say these words like a roller coaster, you go up the roller coaster and then back down. So 감사합니다 is how the pronunciation would go.
So was Mr. Miyagi speaking?
Japanese.
Okay, never mind.
Well, Miyagi is a Japanese word. The guy who some of the martial arts that they were doing were Chinese. I don't know anything about martial arts. I just know the history of like the different kinds. Are my cats Korean? No, my baby cat, my baby cat's he does not understand why I'm having a stroke and not going to the hospital when I speak to him in Korean. But my other two older cats, they've heard it forever. And so yeah, they know.
So what about the other Karate Kid, where Mr. Han? Did you say that one?
Han is a Chinese name.
Okay, never mind then. That's my extent.
So in Korean, you're gonna have Taekwondo. That comes from Korea. So it's actually Taekwondo. That's Korean. And a few other branches of martial arts, but Taekwondo is the biggest one. So
It's like what?
is what?
Oh no, everybody's like, are y'all hearing what I'm hearing? That's what I'm talking about.
Oh. I never thought about animal ethnicity. Well, Cass, it's all about how you say it, and animals can hear hard consonants better than they can hear vowels. That's why they always tell you to name your cat or your dog with a name that has a hard consonant. I have failed in that aspect since all of my animals were named except for Iggy before we got them. So, yeah. So if I go to a cat and say get down, or if I say Anjo, which means get down, Anjoyo, get down, they get down. But if I go get down, they're like, nah.
Matt Brown, he went to heaven. Mr. Miyagi did. Mr. Miyagi's in heaven.
Okinawa. Now I can still say like konbanwa, watashi wa Tiffany desu, but I can never read Japanese. It just didn't happen. I nearly gave myself a brain bleed.
Vicky. My dog 100% dumb. I love him. We taught our dog commands in Latin. Really?
That's awesome. Latin is also a very hard consonant kind of language, and it does have a lot of staccato like Japanese. So yeah, that would be awesome.
Fucking A.
My 5 labs outnumber me. My father spoke 13 languages thanks to the 24 years in the Navy. I speak Korean. I speak a little bit of Japanese, just a little bit that I remember. I now speak it with a Korean accent. So when I do speak Japanese, I get fussed at by the old lady that runs the Japanese grocery store because Japan and South Korea do not always get along together, especially the older people. And that is because Japan used to occupy Korea. My dog is dumb. He will sit and stay, but not shut the fuck up. That's epic. Oh, man.
My dogs are pretty smart. Most of the time. They're pretty smart.
So, I tell you, like, there's some really cool things about Korean, like how they smush words together. So, like, namja is man. Chingu is friend. So, namja chingu would be boyfriend. But they like to shorten their words like we do, so it's just namching. So namja chingu becomes namchin. Yoja, which is girl, yoja chingu becomes yochin.
Oh, that's a good question. Do you know when the nail salon people are talking shit?
No, because the nail salon people are generally Vietnamese.
Okay.
But
I want to know what they're saying. Like, are my nail beds disgusting? What are you saying?
I have gone to a Korean nail place, and they were not speaking shit about anyone there. They were talking about what they were going to have for dinner, if their kid passed their test, So I'm not certain if they are actually speaking, but I'm sure that some of them do.
I don't know. And maybe they're not, because they're really nice to me. But, they also Google Translate it. I should turn that on.
There's a new app on the iPhone that came with the new update, and it will actually voice translate everything. You just let the app hear it, and it will translate it to you in voice, which would be hilarious if you're sitting there and they're talking, and then suddenly this app starts saying everything that they're saying.
Enemies, I needed to know this. Japanese and Koreans more. See, when I was in college, they told me that Russian was the closest to our language.
Russian is not the closest to our language. That's ridiculous. German is the closest to our language. In fact,
Oh golly, I said Russian. I meant German.
Okay,
I
yeah,
didn't think of Russian lady. German. German was the closest to our language.
and it's not that it's the closest to our language. It's that we have so many borrow words from Germany. Like English is not its own language. We have a
I know,
lot
I
of
meant
borrow
German.
words.
I took German and I did well, but I can't speak German. I still can't. I can't speak any German, but I passed my classes enough to
IBF.
make it.
All I remember, I can't speak German either, but I do remember watching Schindler's List. And when the man was telling one of the women to say, he said, "Put your hand on the fence." He said, "Thy hand on thy fence," and I was like, "That was English."
That
And they were like, "No, that was German." I was like, "Oh, okay."
well, and the reason I had to take a foreign language in college was because I failed Spanish so terribly in school.
Randy, how do you fail Spanish?
Oh
That's
my
like the
God.
easiest of the Romance languages.
Oh no, not for me. It was so hard for me. I would go completely blank. Give me, there's nothing in English that I can't do. There's a lot of things in, any kind of math you give me, I can usually figure it out. But give me Spanish, I could sit there and read that paper, study, and I cannot remember it. I just go blank.
So with me, I guess it's like the music, like I can sight read music. So whenever you're in music, you learn how to sight read, which means you're given a piece of music and you play it without ever having practiced it. It doesn't mean you're going to be good at it, but that you can follow the notes. And so they say that when you are in music, and I've been in music since I was in elementary school, that languages come easier for you. But here's the problem: I can't do Romance languages. I can speak enough Spanish to get me by, and I can generally tell what I'm being told, but when it comes to Romance languages, I fail. When it comes to Asian languages, I'm good. And it's so weird because it's usually the opposite. And someone said that Japanese was closer to Korean than Mandarin and Cantonese. You are correct. Korean used to chide. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'll be quiet.
Caslin, how are you feeling? Caslin just had surgery. Okay, let me see if I can make this link work.
Oh, Caslin, are you high on the pain meds?
I've been waiting on you because I was going to go get something to drink.
I love them too, Lanky, like so much. Yeah, Shanna, that's my problem with Korean too. If I get like a southern speaker from Korean, I struggle because they have what's called saturi, which is, how we have different accents and we have different ways of saying things. It's the same way in Korea, except when they have different ways of saying things, it's different words. And it's hard. When it comes to my language, I'm a solid 8 out of 10, Vicky.
And if I tell anybody, that English was my major or anything, then they expect me to speak 100% proper English. And I hate that because I'm not going to.
Well, here's the thing. You have colloquialisms, which is, it's street speak, basically. It's what we use to explain things, phrases that we use that wouldn't make sense if it was translated, things like that. And that doesn't really make people think that you have an English degree, but that's just not true because most English degrees is not about speaking at all. That would be a communication degree. An English degree is about reading and understanding the language.
Well, and I can teach the art, but I can't, well, no, I can speak it perfectly, but I don't. Who wants to? I don't want to go around and you got to love the people who use whom, and every time they need to say who, they just go ahead and use whom just in case you're supposed to use whom.
No.
And it don't matter. Nobody polices that.
Here's the thing. English and every other language, except for a few languages that are stuck. Okay, English is a very fluid language. It is continuously changing. It is changing so much that they have what's called an English curator, and what they do is they collect new words for the dictionary, and that tells you right there that the language is forever changing. The way we use it is forever changing. Hell, they've taken the 2 spaces after a period out. I mean, that's never going to change for me, but they've taken it out.
Yeah.
Right, exactly, Queen, exactly.
If you use the word thou, I just might write you off as it. Tyler, yes, I know exactly.
Morty, in Korean, they have this phrase, and I've said it all the time. It's called 어떻게. Okay, otoke, otokanya, otokanji, and basically this word means what the fuck. Not in that way. It can also mean what have I done? How do I do it? What am I supposed to do? What's going on? I have no, just a general sense of confusion, but it can mean so many things.
Thou or thy. The only time I use thy is whenever I'm making fun of somebody. Physician, heal thyself.
Exactly. That's the way I use it too.
Yes. Proper British speech was my upbringing. So I dropped the link.
What? Who was taking the link? I forget.
True Helper.
Oh, True Helper, are you out there? She dropped the link for you. German lady had to go, IBL. It's sad. We miss her.
She's so funny.
She is. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I met her.
And she gets into like the beef sector and no, you don't get meat because I looked into it and it's where they just fight all the time. They argue, and she left the building. But I cannot. I don't see anything badass about those people, but they dogs and all that stuff. Not a lot different than what goes on here now. Right. Because now apparently it's okay to dogs and SWAT and CPS and all that shit.
So silly. And that's just why people don't open up on this app. People are like, oh, why are you so secretive? Or, well, you don't really get to know true people because they're afraid that just one wrong saying and somebody's going to like call their husband's job or something.
Right.
I was going to say, do y'all want to know a dirty, dirty word in Korean? Yeah. Okay. So it's actually dirty, and it's actually kind of, so like having sex on your period, right? Okay, just go with me on this. Just go with me.
Okay, I'm with you.
So there's this rice cake. It's called tteokbokki. Okay, tteokbokki. And basically, it's a rice cake that's soaked in gochujang, which is red pepper paste. But when you get it, it's in a tubular kind of shape, and it looks like a used tampon. So what they call having sex on your period is tteokbokki.
Did you just ding a bell too?
No, I do not have a bell. That might have been True Helper over there. Oh, okay. He's like, ding, round one.
I was just wondering if that was part of the word. Ding.
I was trying to figure out what I stepped into. Came in something about putting rice cakes or some shit. Jesus, what's happening over here?
The other one is chugule. Chugule. Do you want to die?
Ooh,
that's my favorite one. Chugule.
Talk dirty. Or I think, what was it, Dave Chappelle would say, well, if it isn't the most diabolical haters this side of the Mississippi. I think I've heard there's people out there calling everybody haters lately. I don't know which stream to go to and which not to. I'm scared.
Oh my gosh, Queen. Yeah, you can say like miwohe, which means I hate you. Miwohe, I hate you. Or you can say shiro, which means I hate you as well. And if you tell me that, I'm going to be like, chugure, do you want to die?
Now, how long did it take you to learn that, if you don't mind me asking?
It's people don't believe me when I say it, but it's a pretty simple language. So it didn't take me long at all to get like the basis, like the building blocks. It took me probably about 6 months. It took me 2 hours to learn the alphabet.
Damn.
I mean, it's easy.
When did you start learning other languages? From when you were a child, or was it something that you got into?
It was probably about 8 years ago. I started learning Japanese, and then
I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay. Then I said, "Fuck Japanese," because that's too hard. So I moved on to Korean. 안녕하세요, 안녕하세요, 안녕하세요. But remember that the yo at the end of 안녕하세요 is actually an honorific, which has absolutely no translation. It's just you being polite. It's like Mr. and Mrs. or please and thank you, but it has no direct translation at all, not even in Korean. So if you're just saying hello to your friends, you just say 안녕, which is what I say at the end of my videos. I say 여러분 감사합니다, 안녕. 여러분 means everyone.
I'd know better than to open my mouth and try to say something nice, because I'd probably say something stupid and somebody smack me.
No, do you want to know what's crazy? So the Korean dining experience is a little different. Number one, they usually have buzzers on their tables if you're at a really true Korean restaurant because they don't come and check on you unless you want them to, which is actually nice. So you hit that buzzer, something lights up in the back, and they say, "Oh, table 4 needs your help." The waitress will go out there and help you. It's almost instantaneous. It's actually better than waiting on a fucking waitress. And so they'll go out there and help you. But if you're in a smaller restaurant, okay, they don't have those buzzers because they're right there and you can see them. You say "chogyo," which means excuse me, but you're calling them to you. It's a different kind of, not excuse me for hitting you, but excuse me, I need you to come to me, right? So you say "chogyo, chogyo." Okay, so I was in a Korean restaurant that was crowded with actual Korean people, which always makes me a little nervous. So I'm in there and there's this whole family at like this table of like 12 people eating, right? And they're all older Korean people. And then I say, I want to say "chogyo" because I needed some more drink. But what I said was "chagiya," which is actually my sweet baby. So everyone in the restaurant started laughing and I was mortified. So yeah, I understand. Absolutely.
Those buzzers sound like great ideas. The only problem is in our current day and age of woke and snowflake mentality, I believe too many people would cry after hearing that buzzer. Yeah.
You don't actually hear it. The buzzers actually just light up a board, and it's got the board of all the tables, and it just tells you when your table needs help. And in fact, they don't actually work on a tipping culture because they don't get waitress pay. They get normal pay. So you don't tip in Korea. You do tip in Korean restaurants in the United States. So that is a given.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
And they believe that when an American comes in, they're not going to tip you properly. So sometimes they'll be very rude to you, but then you speak Korean to them and tip them $10 after the meal, and suddenly they want to be your best friend.
Oh, heck. Whenever me and my wife go out, we're always 25, 30% on the bill. I mean, if you go out, it's usually not every day, so you might as well throw them a little extra.
Right.
That's why I'm so ready for all this lockdown crap to be over with.
Hey, guys. Tip for when you go to Korean restaurants, 9 times out of 10, they don't want to spring for a liquor license. So you just say "soju isoyo," "soju isoyo," "soju isoyo." That means, "Do you have soju here?" And they'll say "de," "yes," and then they'll bring it to you in a coffee pot, and then you can drink it all you want, even though they don't have a liquor license.
Nice. I'll try to remember that. I probably won't, but hey. Well, that makes sense then, because over at our local sushi place, it's a Japanese sushi place, they just love the heck out of, every time they see me walk through the door, because, I'm always tipping pretty good. And usually they got a half price on all kinds of different rolls and sashimi and all that stuff. So it's pretty nice. So it kind of makes sense. Every time I come in, usually I see a line of people, and the one guy's name is Scott, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, come on up. You come on up. You come on up. You come here. What you need?" I'm like, all right, my man.
So tips for eating at an Asian restaurant: do not ever stick your chopsticks into your bowl of rice or any other meal that you're eating. That is bad karma, bad juju, because it emulates the incense sticks that they use at the shrines for their dead loved ones. So what you do is you lay it across the dish. Don't ever stick it in the dish because that'll bring you really bad luck.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've studied a few martial arts in my time, and I can remember about the incense stick, so that makes sense.
Are you serious, Love Shack? They asked you to leave a Korean bar for not being Korean? You should have said "chugure." Or you can say, wait, hold on. 내가 왜? Why me? Or what? Or 내가 뭔데? 내가 뭔데? You gotta say it like that. You gotta say it with attitude. You gotta say "내가 뭔데? 죽을래?" It just means, who the hell are you? Do you want to die?
I tell you, with all the tax abatements and all the different programs they get, you'd think they'd be a little more nice to people.
Yeah, but come on now. Some of them don't get that. I'm Armenian. Wow. A simple word "varth" means rose. That's awesome. I've never met an Armenian. Harmony. It's grandma.
I'm just here. I have no idea what's being said at this. Tyler, I'm just going with it.
I'm just in amazement myself because I don't know any foreign languages. I mean, I know some of the key, cuss words in certain foreign languages, but that's about it. That's about the extent of my knowledge.
Yeah. My sister done some landscaping work, and she learned some colorful words from some of the employees and taught them to my kids when they were little. And
what language?
Spanish.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember that, but I mean, they would. Well, I do remember like one like Puta, I think. I don't know.
Is whore or bitch, whichever one you want to choose.
Yeah, I'm not, but I mean, she learned some things, while she was working there, and it caused quite the stir. But it is what it is. Lanky Tour says I know all the bad words. So, what are you up to tonight, True Helper?
I heard y'all talking about some things, and then of course I heard it was listening to the whole Trump thing. So it's something I was paying attention to. And no, I'm not a big old Trump cheerleader or anything like that, but I can say that, in the beginning I had my doubts, and I'll be honest, I voted for the lesser of two evils, or at least in my mind. And I did have some pro points about him. I figured he is a businessman and all that good stuff. But when I saw how the media and so many other people were lying left and right, it really got to me. It did. I mean, I'm probably showing my age here, but I'm old enough to know and was ready to go for Ross Perot way back in the day. And I thought, hey, there's a businessman coming in. I figured he could do the right kind of job and get us out of its debt and all that stuff. But, I tell you, one of the things that a rule of thumb I have, whenever I hear a report about, Orange Man bad and all the Trump derangement syndrome stuff going on, I always say, okay, whatever the clip is that the mainstream has, if you rewind from that video, whichever video they clipped it from, 30 seconds previous or 30 seconds ahead, you actually 9 times out of 10 see the truth. Like the whole Charlottesville thing, that was a lie. So many of these other situations that they've come up with. And this is not because I'm pro him. It's because I know what I saw. Like I would watch a lot of these mainstream reports as they would come out, and then I'd see them clip down to like little bite-sized 5 and 10 second clips. It's crazy.
I'm just going to say one thing before I go to bed, because I do need to go to bed eventually. I don't know how you could possibly call that man a businessman when he has bankrupted everything he's touched. And it goes to, it goes to logic that he would also bankrupt the United States more than we already were. Anyway, got to go to bed because I have things to do in the morning. But thank you so much, Randy, for letting me come up.
Oh, thank you for coming up.
I had a wonderful time. I'm sorry, True Helper. I just don't want to get into politics because I get mean about it. So
I'm sorry. I thought that's what was said. That's why I was going to come up and at least put a few things out there. But.
No, you're fine, and I'm not leaving because of you. I really, honestly do have to get up in the morning. Thank you so much, Randy. It's nice to meet you, True Helper. It's so good to see all of you again, and I'm going to try to stick around for those of you who can stomach me. So anyway, good night, guys. Or in Korean, as we say, "잘," which means good night. So have a wonderful night, everyone.
Wow, you are a bit intelligent. It was nice meeting you.
It was nice meeting you too. Good night, Randy.
Good night.
Oh,
yeah,
Randy,
I'm
sorry. I'm trying to make a graceful exit, but I don't know how to do it.
I just usually leave. It gets a bit hard sometimes.
I can remove you.
Oh, it says leave studio. Is that the right one?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, the red X.
Good night. Bye.
Good night. But one thing I did want to say about like the whole COVID stuff that was going on, I've seen a lot of different reporting lately. And of course, I just wanted to make it clear because I was writing in the chat earlier, and I know some people are in agreement, others aren't. But I'll just put it to you this way. When you break things down to their core basics, okay, you kind of understand what's going on. And before all this pandemic stuff that's been going on here lately, I know many people that I knew weren't into virology or epidemiology or, barely even knew much about the world of diseases, communicable and otherwise. So, here we are now. And when you look at the basic numbers and some of the facts that people have put out, it's just, I feel that a lot of the situation we're in right now has been politicized to the umpteenth degree. Because when you really think about where we were back in January, when you had people like Fauci, Pelosi, Biden, all these different people saying that everything was okay, come out, and then even calling other people racist, xenophobic, and all that stuff for shutting down certain different forms of transport and all that stuff. And, we get to where we are now, and people are still really going almost crazy with the fear, and they're so in shock right now that many don't even want to go out. And I think that is just a travesty as to what's been done, because I know, Randy, you said you wanted to go. So I could basically sum it up like this. Okay. 2 points. One, if you can smell a fart molecule, you can get any virus, basically, because they are so much smaller on a molecular scale than, say, a fart or smell molecule, basically. Okay. So this whole mask thing, which even Fauci himself, he went back and forth on. Y'all go back into January and you can pull up reports left, right, and center, not from the left wing, that's for sure. Don't go to your MSNBCs and CNNs and all that, because no, they'd have you believe that, oh, everybody was all for, protecting everybody and all that stuff from the jump. That's a lie. That's a lie, I'm telling you. And not because I said it, because it's out there. But point being is from where we were to where we are now, I guess still worldwide, there's been now about like 22 million confirmed cases worldwide, or maybe 24. Well, just food for thought, y'all. This time last year, we were at about 35.5 million people in the United States alone that were sick from some kind of seasonal influenza or other types of viruses. And 34,200, I believe, passed away, and 137 children passed away. Okay. That was just last year alone. The year before, I believe it was like 69,000 people had passed away. And I know they're saying like up to 200,000 people have passed away, but the CDC has even put out their own reports that they now believe that only 6% of that number have actually passed away. But the mainstream is still trying to push this big old 200K number. Well, I'll tell you what, the one reason why they're trying to cover the butts right now, because here's another fact. Only 38%, or I'm sorry, not even only, but up to 38% of all the businesses that close their doors because they made them, they'll never be able to open back up because of what they've done. And before all this hit, we had one of the most booming, most vibrant, the most thriving economies in the world. We never had seen some of the different business bonuses and just the different things that we've had going on, the profits, the markets. I mean, you name it, the stock markets, everything left, right, and center was doing beautifully. And then, of course, this had to come along and hit it. And then I love how people turn back around and then yet again politicize it all and say, oh, well, it's all this one's fault and that one's fault. Who the hell can really control a virus? If it gets in, it's going to get you. I mean, I know, okay, with our sons and all that, I can remember at least once or twice a year, somebody getting a cold or getting a flu or whatever else. And nowadays, if you even hear somebody cough, everybody gets shell shock. Stop it. Stop it. I guarantee you, I know there's people that are passing away, and I feel bad for everybody that's lost loved ones. I've had a couple of friends, too, that had comorbidities that were unfortunately diagnosed with the COVID and then subsequently passed away. But you've got to take every little detail into consideration. You know what I mean? Because when you look at a truly healthy person, especially between the ages of 20 and 35 or 40, the actual death rate is like in the single digit percentiles.
Hey, True Helper, can I interrupt you for just 1 second?
Hi. Hey, it's you.
Randy, I forgot to say something super important. May I say something about my channel really quick?
Of course.
Okay, so I am doing a project. Anyone that wants to help me, I would love to help. It's really hard to do it on my own, but I am doing a project where I'm covering all of the issues that were whitewashed out of our compulsory education. I'm doing the videos on all of the white led black riots, all of the things that we were never taught about because it would make the white community look bad. So I am making those videos. I've made 2 so far. I hope that all of you check them out at least. And if you don't like them, I understand. But if you do, I hope that you would keep watching them. And anyone that wants to help me with this research, it is extremely daunting and extremely tasking. But I'm really, really, really serious on getting through all of these issues and making sure that everyone can fill in the gaps from the education that were left by whitewashing and just simply brushing things under the rug. So that's what I wanted to say.
Sweet.
I would really love it if you guys check that out. And thank you, Randy, for letting me say that and let me come back up to say that because I forgot. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, you're welcome. You're welcome. Everybody,
actually, I'm quite
check her out.
myself. I love it. I love it. I'll check you out. Definitely.
Thank you. Spread it far and wide. I have been spreading it to, if it's about a certain state, I would ask that you guys spread it to any congressman or senator that you know or that you can find on Twitter from that state and ask them why they're allowing this to happen in schools because it's still happening today. I ask that you spread it far and wide so that those who can see it can change the educational system and change the way that we are taught. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now for real, good night. Yes, I can drop my link. 1 second. Let me get it.
Good night.
Let me get it. I can't drop a link. Can you? I'll drop it to Randy and then Randy can drop it. 1 second. I put it in the backstage chat. Randall.
Oh, okay. Let's see if I can copy it from there. It's not easy to copy from the private chat.
I'd love to check something like that out. I'm actually into a lot of our history. I truly enjoy that because I agree with you too. There's a
Thank you,
lot
Queen.
that has been removed, and not even just that, but I mean, you all over the map, from the Bible, from ancient writings, from
Thank you, Tyler.
actual world history. There's a lot of stuff that's been scrubbed from history, and I think that's that's really, really does our society a grave injustice, because we can't get to where we're going if we don't know where we've been, in my opinion.
Exactly. All right. So the reason why I started this project is because I heard during the original George Floyd protest, I heard someone say that you never see white people leading these riots. And I am aiming to prove everyone wrong, since most of the white-led riots outnumber the black-led riots, and most of the destruction outnumbers the destruction by any black community at all. So that is why I started this project. And I just hope that you guys check it out, because it's not for me. It's not for views. You can even watch it on someone else. I don't care. I don't care about the view. I don't care about the like. You don't even have to like it. I just want it out there. So please check it out. I beg of you all. All right. Good night for real. Thank you, Queen, for sharing my link. Thank you, Randy, for letting me come back on. I have to go now and probably try and sleep, even though I'll probably just stare at the ceiling. Okay, guys. Good night.
Okay, good night.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Lanky Tor, I assure you, I am not QAnon. I can promise you that. I've heard things, but I've never followed or got into that. Hey, Serendipity. Good to see you. But yeah, I'm sorry to go on a little mini rant there. But it really breaks my heart to see so many of my brothers and sisters out there that are so mortified and scared, and even more so parents. Because I have had so many phone calls where people would ask me all over the place about, should I let my kids go to school? And it breaks my heart. It really does. They have really politicized this and beat it into the ground. Because when you look at kids, wow, you want to talk about a very, very, very low percentile of them actually getting sick from this actual disease. And I am saying it is a real thing. It is still a novel virus, and I believe they're still working on getting a vaccine out there. No offense to anybody, but that is something that I have never believed in, only because my mom was a nurse practitioner, amongst many other things in the medical field, and I have been privileged and blessed to know many doctors, nurses, virologists, epidemiologists, and the like. And trust me, I know what goes into a lot of those things, and especially when you have big pharma that has put out there, or at least they brought up a bill that says that they can't be liable for anything. I wouldn't take my chances with it. But then again, that's just me. I'm an old school believer in how our bodies work to fight against different viruses and diseases, and producing antibodies to actually help us, for the long run, and then just having a good sense of self, and just protecting yourself by keeping a decent diet, exercise, the whole nine.
Well, that being said, we have to keep this in mind. People not wanting to send their kids to school. I'd say right now, and sadly, we have many grandparents that are raising their grandchildren, but not just that. If you say where I work, if we get a fever, if we're exposed to it, we have to immediately go get a test. I can't go back to work until that test comes back negative, or we have to be careful. So we send our kids to school, even if our children aren't going to die from it. They are certainly going to bring it home to the parents, to the grandparents, which it's killed several elderly people.
Of course, yes, it's killed a lot of elderly. Yep.
Yeah. And so that is why I think we got to take it more seriously. I can't argue the semantics of it, how much the government is putting out and not putting out. But what we do know is that it's very real. I just had, my friend B's mother-in-law just died from it. Mm-hmm. And of course, that's who, by the way, I'll say this. Her mother-in-law, 77 years old, she woke up that morning. She had COVID, got out of ICU, was put in a regular room, and by that afternoon she was gone. That's how quick because from COVID they're developing blood clots as well.
Of course. Yeah. But and now something something with that too. I've heard many people on different podcasts and all that, and I will debunk something that I've heard say, because I can actually remember my mom actually in an OR and ER before, because, well, she didn't have a babysitter way back when we were little ones. But anyway, I can always remember the talk of, and I'd ask a million questions about blood clots and stuff like that. And yes, your normal flu and many other diseases and viruses can in fact cause blood clots as well. Because so it's actual myth that they're putting out there in the mainstream. I heard, well, you can't get blood clots from the normal flu. Okay, well then why did a friend of mine die from that 7 years ago? Because that's exactly what happened. Look, every one of us are different in our own unique way. Though we are men and women and boys and girls, all that good stuff. We are all children of God, in my opinion. But we do have all differences, amongst us. And then again, that's why you also have to consider and or factor in comorbidities. Somebody that goes in, sometimes you might not even know that they might have, pulmonary edema, or they might have some kind of cardiac type of issues, or pulmonary issues, or issues with their endocrine system. Or, there's so many different things that can factor in when you put something like, and not even just COVID, but any one of the different multitude of diseases and viruses and bacteria out there, it can cause, catastrophic damage within the system, and that's just the way that it is. And I'm no doctor. I would never claim to be, but I can tell you, I've studied enough to know that a lot of what's being put out right now is just, it really is scaring people a lot more than it needs to be. You just have to really just keep a good, like I said earlier, a good sense of self. And yes, you should watch out for your loved ones and all that. And if you have elderly that live with you, have a decent system in place. Your kids get home, you just make sure y'all know what to do as parents. And everybody has their own little unique systems where they either got their Lysol wipes or their hand sanitizers or whatever it is ready. Try not to panic too much, because think about where you've been before in the past. I know all of our kids have gotten some type of illness or some type of sickness and all that. And if you do have elderly that live with you, yes, it may be a good idea for now until at least they put a viable vaccine out there. If you are that type of believe in that type of thing, it's good to keep them separated and all that stuff. But the bottom line is, all will be as God wills it. That's what I believe. And yes, we do have a say in that a bit, but we can try our best. But sometimes, people will in fact pass away. But again, as I said earlier, with the numbers being what they are, and seeing, actually, we've had people out in the field when this all really got started up like hot and heavy back in March. We were the type within our prep group that were actually calling these different hospitals that said that they were packed in their ICUs and all these other different places. And then we'd actually send people in. And lo and behold, looky, there was only a few people in several different hospitals. So it's just, again, like I said, just so many different things had happened, and I could go on and on and on and on and on. I mean, there's so many different examples. But, it's not to say that should make us complacent. Again, we are, in fact, we're entering back into the second part of the flu season now, so it's just good to keep a good sense of self, just keep your eye out. And, just because somebody has a quick call for they sneeze or something like that, that fear and that stress can really make you sick by itself. So just try to, take it seriously, but at the same time, try not to watch as much mainstream media. That's one of the things I used to watch it all the time, but past 2016, when I was able to confirm a lot of the different lies and stuff like that, I had to shut it off, because I saw that a lot of it was false. A lot of it was doctored up, edited, cut. It didn't matter what it was, and not even talking about the president, but several other different things, you know what I mean? And when there were major hurricanes going on, I mean, you'd see like one little snippet here and there about that. But then they go on and on and on about all this other nonsense. And just like, just kills me sometimes. It really does. But yeah. I don't want to keep on my high horse here.
No, it's okay. I'm reading the chat. Of course, people this is something, and I'll drop the link for anybody that wants to. Well, that's the link to Minnie's channel. Let me get the StreamYard link. People have strong opinions about this, and frankly, this is how I feel right now. I think a lot of people with the strong opinions are the ones that haven't had to deal with it, or they don't want to wear a mask, honestly. Yep. And right now, because my state, which I live in Tennessee, it's no secret. Our state was a low state, like we didn't have many cases, and because of that, people didn't take it as serious. And now we're getting locked back down. It's going on. There was 600 children tested positive in one school. Now they've went online, so it's very real. I do think that people want to believe that the government. My friend believes that the government put it out for re-election, blah blah blah. And here's what I'm going to show y'all. Come November, if there's not a vaccine, I want everyone to hush that this was put out by the government. Because what people think is this. They think that Trump is holding off on a vaccine to get reelected. No. That's not true.
No. Yeah, that's not
And I don't believe that. And
No.
I think people are going to see. I think that it's very real. And I think you need to take, I wear my mask. I have to wear my mask at work. But I went to Walmart yesterday and I forgot my mask at work. And I looked all over. I wanted to buy a mask. I don't want to walk around Walmart without a mask because of the people who don't feel the need to wear a mask. So I'm wiping everything down, and I'm scared. It's very real. I don't want to catch it. Now, everybody knows that my husband is 19 years older than me. What kind of piece of shit am I going to be if I bring it to him?
Right. Of course.
I mean, I may survive it. He may not. I may not survive it. He may, but I don't want to find out.
Well, that's true. And, and different strokes for different folks. And God bless you for thinking that way, because, it shows a bit of responsibility in your situation, or at least if for nothing else, it puts you at a little bit more, it gives you a sense of ease to know that you are taking every single precaution that you possibly can, because that's how you feel, obviously. So, and I think that's a good thing. But as I said earlier, I feel that the way that it's been so blown so epically out of proportion, again, just by the numbers alone, and again, not minimizing anybody's pain. I trust me.
Yeah.
I lost both my mom and pop within 10 months of each other just a few years ago. So yes, I know a thing or two about, losing people and all that stuff. So not downplaying anybody's feelings or their losses or anything like that. But I'm talking about just the strict numbers by themselves. Again, when you have still and again, pardon me, I haven't refreshed the current stats, but as of a couple of weeks ago, I think it was still under 20 or 22 million worldwide. And yet last year alone, again, 35.5 million people in the United States alone. Okay. And again, not minimizing it. But when you look at the big picture, this was nowhere near what they said. They said also that it was going to have between a 3 to 5% mortality rate. Now, just in July alone, when the CDC came out and said that they had it wrong, they believe they had the actual infection stats wrong by a factor of 10. That meant that over 20 some odd million people were supposedly infected. Now, if you divided that by the 139,000 deaths at the time, which I believe was right around July 4th, and you did the math, that would leave you at a 0.00417% mortality rate. Now, tell me, 0.00417% versus 3 to 5%. Do you see what I mean? That's the difference of hundreds of thousands of people. And that's why I'm saying, it doesn't, don't get me wrong either, it doesn't make me complacent, because I do still watch out, even though I'm out and about. I know here in the Commonwealth in Pennsylvania, it's no secret there either, but, it's kind of the same deal where our governor ended up shutting everybody down. But as a matter of fact, we just won a good class action suit against Governor Wolf in 4 different counties because some of his arbitrary and almost tyrannical, rules about shutting different businesses and all that stuff down. But yet he himself had a wood shop that he deemed as essential and kept it open. You know what I mean? So there's just one out of thousands of points of hypocrisy that have been happening around the nation. And oh, dear Lord, help the people in Michigan, because that woman that runs that place, oh, wow. She wouldn't even let people out to do solo events like fishing and canoeing or kayaking and stuff like that. It's what I mean. People have gotten so out of control with this. And I think a lot of different leaders have used this to either stroke their own egos or just to go totally hip crap. It's just crazy.
Oh, it's very worse than the flu. Listen, this is what I found out through B, because B has COVID right now, and so does her husband. They both have COVID, and they both are having different symptoms.
Mhm.
So it's not true. It's you know, it's not the same for everybody.
Exactly.
Every time I'm getting my because my sinuses are a wreck right now. I'm sure y'all can hear it, but every time I take a drink of something, I'm like, thank God I can taste it, because that's one of the things. They can't smell or taste anything, and but
Yeah, I heard that was one of the telltale signs. Well, that
yeah,
and they say that this is the one of the reasons that makes this a bit worse than your typical seasonal influenza is because it does affect the respiratory system a little bit worse, and that I guess the infection rates are significantly higher. But then again, still there's a lot of new numbers that are being generated, and again, this is by the actual CDC and the WHO and all of these different things that they spoke of before. It was just like when that whole hydroxychloroquine thing came out, when it was this big old conspiracy and all that. I laughed my ass off, first of all. Okay. I have known probably for most of my life about that medication because it has always helped people with autoimmune disorders and things like lupus and fibromyalgia and so many others. And doesn't it stand to reason, okay, at a good group of people that I know, probably give or take over 40 some odd people that go to this one clinic that are prescribed that, and many of them are elderly who they were openly said they were exposed to somebody that had been sick. None of them so far, and trust me, we have been tracking them because within our sponsorship group, it's something else we do. We run a lot of stats and we keep a lot of data all the time. But anyway, not one of them has been sick. And isn't that just something else, But again, yes, somebody could say coincidence or whatever else. But, so the point is that with that hydroxychloroquine thing, why I was laughing at the mainstream media is because when you have two of the biggest, the largest medical journals in the world, Lancet and the New England Journal of Medicine, have to retract articles, which, mind you, I don't think the New England Journal of Medicine has ever done that, but they had to retract articles speaking about how bad it was and how the death rate and all the side effects and all that stuff was because of one Brazilian report that was so chopped and fouled up from the get-go. I mean, anybody with half an idea or even with a month of medical training knew that it was just botched from the beginning. So that was another red flag as far as I was concerned. I'm like, wow. I thought to myself when I read that about, especially the New England Journal of Medicine having to print a retraction, I was like, wow, what would my mom think about that? Because I could remember those being on her desk all the time. It's crazy. It's crazy. But still, that doesn't mean, still look out for each other, y'all. And if you do have a weaker immune system, you can take zinc, vitamin D, echinacea, elderberry. I mean, there's so many different things you can get into. But again, I'm no doctor. Do your own research and make sure that you're not allergic to anything. And again, it's all about common sense and doing your due diligence. That's probably the best advice that I could give involving something like that. But please don't just stick to any one thing. Because oh yeah, True Helper said it. No.
I love you too, Peggy Johnson. Y'all don't have to go. Listen. So they're saying, do you preach against wearing a mask?
Now, well, personally, I am not pro-mask, and not that I'm against masks. I think and feel that at this point in time, that if somebody wants to wear a mask, then hey, by all means, you do your thing. But as far as I'm concerned, if I'm going to get something, I'm going to get it because of the simple fact that, if you can smell, again, like I said earlier, if you can actually smell somebody having some flatulence, you can smell a fart molecule, then guess what? If somebody's going to walk past you, even if they have a mask on, and they're going to sit there and cough or aggressively or whatever else, these aren't sealed masks. And in many cases, like people that wear the bandanas, even still, the CDC put out a new report on that, where again, even they have been back and forth about, yes, wear a mask. No, don't wear a mask. Yes, wear a mask. To where the people that wear bandanas and these little, whatever the stockings or smocks or whatever they are, they have like a 5 to 7% effective rate, and even the N90 masks have been proven not to do what they originally said they would do. Because again, you're dealing with something on a molecular scale that is so small, it can permeate almost anything. So again, I'm not saying that they flat out don't work, because granted, it is a decent preventative maintenance type of thing. If somebody is already sick and they're going out there, I mean, yeah, they should at least have some kind of layer between them and the outside world. Absolutely. But as far as making somebody wear a mask at work all day, every day, when it's not fully sealed, let me tell you what would actually work to guarantee you protection is a fully sealed respirator type mask. Not these little paper masks that sit on the bridge of your nose and are all open around and everything else. Because what, you don't think that the air doesn't flow around it? And again, something that small, I mean, and again, I'm not trying to scare people. I'm just telling you what I've known, what I have spent most of my life studying into. And that's why I'm really so upset with the mainstream, how they've gone back and forth. And now they've created this world where everybody is paranoid. And I've seen people actually yelling at each other. You don't have your mask on. You have your mask on. I mean, just stop, y'all. Stop. Again, like I said, people are going to get sick. People are going to die. If you feel better about it, then by all means. But I can tell you one thing right now. I'm grateful that our sons are old enough and out of school and away from all that. Because if they were still young and little, I wouldn't have them wearing a mask all day, every day. And the main reason why is because it's already been proven that when you start robbing the body of decent oxygen to help oxygenate the blood, you can cause a lot of negative side effects just from that alone. Now, maybe if they had like a full glass shield in front of them or something like that, I mean, I mean, look, again, I'm no doctor. I don't know what would be the perfect thing, because I know realistically every person can't wear a respirator, because it's like something like that costs hundreds to maybe even up to like $1,000 for a fully sealed, oxygen producer respirator, breather. So, and again, that's one of the only known effective masks against virus and all that. Because again, you look at
here's what I can tell you to try. If you have a mask there,
sure.
I want you to take your mask. Now, everybody listen to me. I want you to take your mask and I want you to put it on properly. And if you have a paper mask, what you do is you make sure that you have the mask on the top in the right angle, because it's the one that bends, that goes around your nose. You bend it to fit around your nose. Then it goes all the way around. It's going to go underneath your chin. And then I want you to put your mask on. I want you to light a candle. And then I want you to blow that candle out. You're not going to be able to. Here's how I know, because I've tried it. People they definitely are wearing that. Some don't tighten the mask around their nose. That's, yes, a paper mask. I have paper mask and I have some that work provided, which are cloth. Now, I don't think, and I might be wrong about this, I haven't tried it. A bandana seems pretty thin to me, but listen, I want you to try to blow out a candle through a mask. You can't. Nothing's getting out, nothing's getting in. Also, I don't smoke. So when someone comes through and they're smoking, if I have my mask on, I can't smell their smoke. It has helped me a great deal because I hate the smell of it. And, and I listen, I used to be a smoker. I love smoking. It just, I quit for myself. I slide coffee filters in my mask. Do you, Heather? You can. That's going to help. You don't have to. Listen, nobody enjoys wearing the mask. Nobody. I don't know anybody that enjoys it. But I do feel like it's necessary. And so far, and I work in a place where it's over 100 degrees. No one has passed out from the mask.
Okay. So, listen, I had to come back up here. It had to happen. I'm gonna say
nice debate. Because I believe everyone's entitled to their opinion. Just don't listen.
If those opinions are not dangerous.
Well, hold on. Just do your own research and listen. I'm gonna preach wear your mask. If you don't do it for someone's grandma.
Okay, I'm sorry, it's gonna be a little bit of a rant, True Helper, and I don't know you, so I don't mean any malice by this, but and when I speak, you can ask Randy. I'm very blunt about what I say, and I don't mince words at all. So what I say, I truly mean.
Don't be mean.
And I'm not trying to be mean, IBL, but what I'm gonna say and how I'm gonna say it is the only way I know how. So I'm giving you that warning, okay? First of all, it is extremely dangerous, and please let me finish before anyone says anything. It is extremely dangerous for you to sit up here and say that you have these thoughts that people shouldn't wear the mask because it's not doing any good, or you wouldn't put your own children in a mask. Okay, well, let's set some things straight. First of all, the mask is not to protect you. It is to protect others, because you can be a carrier and not even know it. And you can spread that to other people. Now, if I found out that somebody was against a mask because they think it's against their rights, and my mother, who just had open heart surgery, she just had 2 doctors with their hands on her hearts because she almost died from a widowmaker heart attack. If I found out that some asshole that didn't want to wear a mask because they were like Trump 2020 and they're taking away my rights, and they killed my mother because they were carriers and didn't know it and were too stubborn to cover their fucking pie holes, do you know how hard I would murder them? I would murder them completely, because it is not your right. It is not your choice. It is not your undoctored opinion to tell someone that wearing a mask is not doing any good. Why wouldn't you put a mask on your child? Don't answer that. It's rhetorical. I don't want to hear it. You should always put a mask on your child. It has been proven over and over and over again that the ages of people dying from COVID without comorbidities are getting younger and younger and younger. In fact, a 2-month-old infant just died here in South Carolina, in my state, with no comorbidities. This child was extremely healthy, and she died from COVID. And do you want to know why she died from COVID? Because her redneck motherfucking parents decided they didn't want to wear a mask when they went into redneck motherfucking Walmart, and they came home and gave it to their fucking baby. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just super heated because I am in a state that at one point in the numbers was second, and I'm talking, there was first, okay? And then there was second. Our state was second in the entire world for death and infection. And it's a whole state of redneck motherfucking idiots who think that Trump is their god and that the masks don't do any good and that there is nothing they can do about it. So they don't have to wear a mask because you can't take away my rights for doing that. Okay, it's not about taking away your rights. If it was about taking away your rights, everyone would have bitched about that shit when they said no shirts, no service. Everyone would have bitched about that when they said you got to wear a seatbelt. Everyone would have bitched about that when they said you got to have insurance. But they didn't. This is the same motherfucking thing. And I will not shut up. That will never happen. Not ever. Because here's the thing. People are dying, and they're dying recklessly. Yes, there are people. Shut up. I can blame whoever the fuck I want. There are people, okay, who do have comorbidities. But those comorbidities would not have killed them without the introduction of COVID into the system. Okay? That is the truth. That is the truth by scientists. That is the truth by scientists. Not by some guy on the internet who thinks he's done enough research to understand that we shouldn't wear a mask because you might pass out and hit your head. What the fuck kind of logic is that? I'm not trying to be mean to you, True Helper. I really am not. I'm just heated, and as everyone knows, this is the way I talk. And I do apologize for that.
To be fair, I haven't heard him say that. I just read that comment. I haven't heard him say
Okay, well,
that.
then I apologize. If you haven't said that, I do apologize.
I'm not saying he didn't. I just haven't heard him say that.
And the reason listen, guys, the reason I bring Trump into it, because that's what I'm hearing in my state, which is, and I will repeat, second in the world for infection and death. That is not even the country. This is a tiny state that was second in the entire globe with death and infection. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. These people sit in this state right here, and it might not be in your state, but in my state, this is what I hear all the time is, at Trump 2020, you're not taking away my rights. I'm not wearing a mask. And y'all can say all you want. Okay, it's not unfounded Trump remarks. This is what I hear every goddamn day in the state of South Carolina. These idiot redneck motherfuckers who are killing their own children because they do not want to wear a mask. That's all I got to say. You're not a doctor. None of us are doctors. But at least do yourself a favor and read an actual published, vetted medical journal. Okay, you don't have to read mainstream media. Read about the actual doctors who are there every single day. My best friend is there every single day in the midst of all of this bullshit, and she comes home every day terrified that the mask that she is wearing, that she's made to wear all day long, is not going to help her because she has to wear it all day long, and they only get one all day. So yes, I'm heated about this. Yes, I am upset that people are preaching not to wear the mask because we are seeing death in high numbers. And in South Carolina, they're seeing them in lower ages. This is dangerous. This should not be preached. You should put a mask on your child. I'm glad that your children aren't young enough to not have that choice.
Okay.
Please, please do not preach these things. You can have your opinion on what a mask do, but you should not preach this across a large platform. Okay?
If I may.
Mm.
I said, correcting the record, that if wearing a mask, any kind of mask, makes you feel better, then by all means do it. I never sat here and said anything about don't wear a mask. I did say that I wouldn't wear one. I did say that if my children were young, more than likely I wouldn't have them wear it. But that is my own personal choice. And
No, it's not your choice for your child, though. You can't make that life
if I-
choice
if
for your
I'm-
child.
If I am my son's parents, which I am, you're damn right, it's my choice. 'Cause
That's
they-
like saying it's my child. I'm not making him wear a seatbelt.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. How long have you studied medical data?
I've studied medical data almost my entire college career, this is my second degree.
Okay. And as far as the practicality, like what has been the use of said studies into the medical data field? Like,
Can you please just stop with the pontificating and just ask me clearly what you want to know?
I know, I'm being very honest.
No, you're not. You're
using
no, you're not. You're asking simple questions, but you're asking them in a way to trip me up. You want to know what I have done with the data, correct?
No, oh boy, actually, first of all, I would appreciate if you just maybe calm down a little bit, because I'm not
Maybe
being
no.
angry in any way, shape, or form. And I believe since I've been up here, I have not been disrespectful in any way, shape, or form. I have not called anybody a redneck Trump motherfucker.
I didn't call you that. I said that was in my state.
I know. But I'm just saying, look, this is an open platform. Brandy, thank you very much. I mean, she has been a blessing. She's had both myself and you up here, and I mean no harm. I have made no claims or mandates or suggestions to anybody as to what they must do. I have said about, following mainstream media and stuff like that. But as far as masks, like I said previously, I said that, whatever makes you feel best, whatever, sits in your heart best. And at the same time, obviously, yes, I agree with one thing, like what you said, it should be done with the best of the best study over what the medical field has put out there. But even then, one of the reasons why I'm so skeptical of what's been put out is because of some of these major medical publications, having to do retractions, and not to mention too, something else I didn't yet mention, but we have found that they have also been messing around the numbers that they themselves have put out from day one. I mean, from even the mortality rates and all that to even the deaths that have happened. And now look at the CDC with the new 6% of the total.
No, you are misreading that. You are misreading that on the CDC. That is not what they said. That does not manipulate the end numbers at all. What they said was 6% of it, was people without any comorbidities at all. That is all they changed. That is all they changed. They did not change the end number. They said only 6% of people that died did not have comorbidities. That is the only thing they've changed. Please, and I do implore you, I'm not being mean right now. Please go back and read it. That is exactly what they said. They didn't change the end number. They said, okay, we now see that 6% of these people had nothing wrong with them. It was COVID, period. That's all they changed. The rest of the people had other things that were wrong with them. But these things that were wrong with them would not have killed them as quickly if COVID would not have been introduced. That is what they changed.
Well, I think I should have spoken a bit more clearly about that. I didn't mean as per the total overall. I did mean as per, and pardon me, I don't have the actual paperwork in front of me because, well, I'm just out and about anyway. But the original number of those, like you were saying, they did not have any comorbidities. It was so much higher, and it was actually striking to me that they, who are supposed to be our go-to, guides, and they are our end all be all. Well, I wouldn't say the end all be all, but they are the people that we turn to for a lot of this medical knowledge, and thus to help us better plan our lives around. So when they had the number that was less without the comorbidities was already up. I can't remember the actual number off the top of my head, but 6% of that was disgusting to us, because there are those out there that are a lot more knowledgeable than I that have been following these numbers since day one. And we have seen these numbers doctored time and time again. And that's why I'm saying it has to be a decision to you as a parent or as a brother, as a sister, as a mother, as a father. You have to make an educated and informed decision with all the data that you're able to get your hands on. And then at the end of the day, and some are the holy types and really or believe in sound prayer and have a heart and hand to God type, and that's fine too. But you have to be able You
So
just protect yourself and those around you to the best.
Let me ask you a question. If you were in a room with my mother, that I didn't even go around her without a mask for the first 3 months after her surgery, and I told you cannot be in this room unless you put on a mask, would you fight me on it?
Absolutely not, because that would be,
Okay.
first of all, I'm respectful like that, and second of all, if that's if that's what somebody wants, then by all means.
Someone in the chat asked if he knew his child was walking past a child with no immunity who is 6 months old and can't wear a mask, and his child could possibly save my baby's life, would he make them wear a mask?
Well, it depends.
Answer carefully on that one.
Yeah, to me, it's like second nature. I can be able to answer that real quick. It depends on the social setting. First of all, even when I was raising mine, I would always make sure that they would always keep a certain distance from people and all that stuff because, well, it's just facing. I guess I don't know. I've always thought I had kind of OCD myself personally, but I've always been a little not too well in large groups, which is kind of ironic because I've spoken in front of a bunch of people and all that stuff. But anyway, as far as having kids out and being around others, I mean, if there was in fact something like this going on right now, I mean, more than likely, I probably would. I don't know because
in fact it was going on?
My kids aren't at that age, and I haven't really had to think about it, like that. But
okay, wait. But you said if there was something like this going on. What do you mean by that?
And my kids were still young.
Okay, thank you.
They're 28 and 21. So it's.
And hold on one second. By the way, people, he's not handling me. This is how a debate happens. Sometimes people get passionate. If you can't handle that, move the hell on. I'm sorry, True Helper. Please continue.
Yeah, there's nothing. I like a good, healthy debate. Just stay calm as you can. I actually enjoy a good debate. Blue Ridge, though, I will say, I was trying to avoid saying this. Her child has cancer and is 6 months old. She is forced to in and out of the hospital 3 times a week, and she can't wear a mask, and she's terrified, and rightfully so. So that's the people that people aren't.
It's not what. It's not what the fuck, IBL. These people are thinking that a debate has to be all happy and flowers and showers, and I'm not allowed to mention Trump. When I hear that every day in my own state, the reason why I'm upset is because I'm passionate about it. It doesn't mean that I'm angry with him or that I don't like him. And he is answering questions even though I am being passionate. That's how a debate works.
And on the Trump note, too, if I may say, I at one time was a Democrat many, many moons ago. And growing up, I made a lot of Democrat friends. How that is relevant is because I still have connections and ties with a lot of those people that in many cases are still, in fact, Democrats. And a good portion, actually, of the people that I know that have been against a lot of what the CDC has said, and even in some cases very irresponsible, if I may say, but have been Democrats. So to me, I've kind of seen it a little bit differently around the Commonwealth and all that, because I do live in a blue state. I mean, it's no myth or mystery, that PA has pretty much always been a blue state. But so a lot of these people that are actually fighting, and actually the ones that headed the class action lawsuits against Governor Wolf were in fact Democrat. So
okay, I didn't mean to interrupt you one more time. I saw some questions in the chat. I know 3 people that I worked with, close co-workers, that have died in South Carolina from the COVID. Also, Liberty, I didn't blame Trump. If you listen to what I was actually saying, I was saying this is what I hear from people in my state. That is what I said. I did not blame Trump at all. No one can blame Trump for the virus. I have never said that. Ever.
Agree, Hannah. Listen, my friend not B. My friend, my best friend, feels the exact same way as True Helper. Okay. And so what I'm saying is that's why I'm not getting upset. I
didn't, Vintage.
Yeah, I can respect it because this is how she feels, so this isn't new to me. I guess I'm not shocked to hear that someone feels this way. Now, blaming Trump. People are, I'm going to say this. People blame Trump because they think that.
No, I didn't. Open your ears.
I didn't hear blame Trump, but I was feeding my dragon. Just saying.
True Helper, did I blame Trump?
No, but I think I can see how some people might have took you wrong because you were saying redneck Trump motherfuckers. Pardon my French.
Okay,
I can see where they might have.
Right, but I didn't blame him. How can you blame him for a virus?
Yeah, that's true. And I'm glad to hear you say that, because when I hear some of these political commercials going on the radio, and I do all I can to try to stay away from some of those things, but damn, it's hard. But when I hear that they're saying all this different stuff about, the president, the administration, and the virus and all that, I'm like, really? Really? Now what's going to be next? They're going to blame him. They're going to blame everybody else for the
Look,
AIDS
wait.
epidemic that had
I
happened
don't-
and all everything else that's happened in the past. Like, come on, just
Okay,
stop.
Vintage, if you listen to what I'm saying, all right, what I was trying to get across was that what I hear in my state every day from the rednecks in my state is Trump 2020 not wearing a mask. In fact, I've seen somebody wear that on a t-shirt. Those exact words, Trump 2020 not wearing a mask.
Hey, the rednecks need loving too now, y'all.
Oh, not around here. They nasty.
Hey, like I'm that type of person. That I just do. I kind of love pretty much everybody until somebody gives me a reason not to. But honestly, I thought about something as you were speaking earlier. One of the reasons why I think I feel the way I do now, doing my own little personal self-evaluation, is if my children were ever sick or anything like that, I just wouldn't have them out. Or if I thought I even had anything, I obviously would.
But not everyone can keep their children
go
at
out and all
home.
that stuff too. But I am also aware that, especially, the one thing that also concerned me about how they were handling this current, pandemic, as I've referred to it as, or this, the actual virus itself, I should say, because it is real. Again, I'm not saying that it's not. Okay, it is a novel virus that they don't have
And thank you for saying that.
for. But the one thing that did concern me in the beginning was the, of how they treated it. In the beginning, it wasn't any big deal and all that. And then almost overnight, then all of a sudden, oh, well, they acted like they never said that. And it really kind of upset me. They just kept going back and forth. And then, like I said, the whole thing about the masks, where they were back and forth. Again, any first year virologist or epidemiologist, or even just a person in the medical field, would know exactly what type of mask works best. But again, like I said earlier, at the end of the day, if it makes the particular person who has to wear the mask feel better based upon all the medical knowledge that they've gathered or whatever has been put out there, then by all means do it. That's their choice. But that's right, I almost forgot the incubation period. In the beginning, they said one of the reasons why it was so deadly is because it could lay in incubation between 14 to 21 days. And then it went down to 6 days. And then it went back up to 9 days. And then it was back up at 3 weeks. And it was, that's one of the reasons why I just got really upset with it. So again, I just treated it like I can remember telling my little lady many times. Just obviously be careful, don't get into close proximity and all these different things that, she knows me always to be. She's a little more or less, I know caring, I wouldn't say caring, but she just is not his tedious.
Exactly, Love Chat. So let me ask you, and you sound like you've done some medical research, okay? So you do understand that once they get more people and all of that, I don't care what you've seen, Sharon. I don't care. Doubt whatever you want to doubt, believe whatever you want to believe. I know what I've seen with my own 2 eyes in my own state. You be over there in California and have yourself a good old time. Here in South Carolina, there's a bunch of dumb people. And I'm not, and some of them don't even support Trump, okay? I'm just saying, there's a bunch of people that are uneducated in this state. So maybe you haven't seen it, but I have. But anyway, so we all know that these numbers can change because science is never a foregone conclusion.
Oh, true. There's nothing solid in science. That's the first thing we learn.
Right. So that's why, we have to look at it as the fact as, yes, CDC is supposed to be the end all be all on everything from pandemics to getting bit by a sugar flying squirrel, because I got bit by one and they didn't know what to do. But anyway,
you got bit by a sugar flying squirrel?
Yeah, but apparently they don't have any diseases, so I didn't have to get a shot. So anyway, Evelyn, no, that's not what I said. It's not, nothing is solid in science. I said nothing is a foregone conclusion. Science is ever changing. That's what science is all about. It's about discovery and discovering new things just like that. Okay. I don't care if you haven't seen it on a shirt. Move past the shirt, people. So we know that the numbers can change. They can fluctuate. They can go from high to low to back to high to back to low to even lower to even higher. Right? We know that can happen because with more information, our answers change in science. We cannot say that this is the definite answer because we might get more information. The virus mutates. That's been proven on both sides of people who kind of believe in it and people who kind of don't, or people who believe in it and people who don't. Science has proven that the virus has mutated from the original strain. It has become more aggressive. Hence why in the beginning, young people weren't dying. Okay, we almost thought that young people were immune. Even I thought that. But then the numbers started to show that the younger people were dying, that they were suddenly dying, not that they had been from the beginning, but that suddenly they were getting the virus and suddenly they were dying without comorbidities. So now we understand that children can get it. And we did understand from the beginning that people can be carriers regardless of age. And then we go home to people who might have elderly people at home, or like, unfortunately, Blue Ridge, and I'm so sorry about your baby, might have cancer and this baby has no immune system. And then we're passing that off without even knowing it. We're not trying to be morbid when we say, hey, I'm not wearing a mask. We're not trying to be mean, but some people who don't wear a mask don't understand that these things are real and they can happen. And it might not affect them, but it might affect those that they come in contact with. And that is why I get so very passionate about it.
That's true. That's true. And you had asked me, or you'd said that I'd studied some science, and yeah, like I said, I have, but I didn't want to try to get too complicated for the masses out there. But I will say that there are different viruses that encode their genome and RNA, such as SARS, COVID-2, HIV, and influenza. That tend to pick up mutations as quickly as they replicate. So it's like it happens almost in the blink of an eye, because let's face it, a virus prefers its host alive. It really does.
Right, exactly.
But that doesn't always mean that that's going to happen, obviously. Like
No.
in the case of Ebola, way back in the day, I know it was kind of brushed under the rug, and it was during the previous administration. And not throwing shade at them, but just saying that before they even really got wind of it, and the CDC even admitted they kind of mishandled it a bit, but there were like a million different cases supposedly that were confirmed, and then it was just, kind of, brushed under. But again, that's where, like you said earlier, science is not a perfect, it's not a perfect field. In no way, shape, or form. And part of how we learn what we do today is from all of the mistakes that are made. It's like Thomas Edison and the light bulb, It took him, 999,000 times to finally get it right that one time? One in a million, as they say.
I agree, Love Shack. I do agree with that. Also, I would like to say that even though I am passionate about the mask thing, I do not and will not be taking the vaccine, and there's a reason for that.
Oh, yeah, no.
Is because the flu vaccine took over 10 years almost to come up with a finished, polished thing that could, that you could take and it would help you and not hurt you. And there have been many, 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 many new articles talking about people who are trying the new vaccine medical trial, and they are coming up with some bad things they don't want. So no, I will not be taking the vaccine, even though I would like to have a vaccine. I would like for my family and my friends to be safe, but I will not be taking it, nor will I be recommending it to any of my family, because there has not been enough time to create one that is safe. And I'm sorry, there's just not.
If I may, about that whole vaccination thing, there actually is no such thing as a perfect any flu vaccination, because the fact is that in only 40% of all the people that take the influenza vaccine, it is usually null and void. It doesn't work, because usually
it works on me
for whatever it is because it already mutates from that point, and or people's bodies also process said vaccination in certain ways. So, I mean, there's so many different determining factors that go into some of these things that's why, like, I do agree with you wholeheartedly. I too would never, ever take such a rush type of vaccine,
no, not ever,
in such a short period of time, because people got to realize sometimes just to get it to a petri dish could be in years, could be like at least 1 to 2 years before they even reach. And in human clinical trials, it's like 2 to 5 years in many cases. And then you got to wait for the FDA approvals and everything. It's just, it's absolutely unbelievable. So the fact that here in like under 10 or 11 months, I mean, it's scary. It's just, yeah. And with all the different elements that they use and, live strains and all that. No. Nope. I wouldn't take it in a million years. I would rather not grow some third nipple or have a second head or, a third ear or anything like that. No, thanks.
That's true here in South Carolina too. Blue Ridge, well, not in South Carolina, in Georgia. I'm right on the border. My parents live in Georgia. In Georgia, the flu rates have gone down because people have been wearing their mask, and that is a side effect we we were not expecting, and that's a good side effect. I'm not saying that people should wear the mask all the time, even when this is over. But what I'm saying is, it does have its good side effects as well.
Minnie, if I may ask, in your area though, is everything still on lockdown though, or what percentage do you know at like what level you guys are at, or how long you've been at said level? Like, are all your stores back open yet, or most of it shut down?
In my area, it's going from open to close to open to close to open to close over and over and over again. So,
Okay. Well, I guess because what I'm saying is, in other words, I guess the easiest way for like, say, me to say it to you would be, out of all the stores that we have, like we have our main street and a bunch of other different streets that have a lot of strip malls and all that stuff. All of them have been closed for like the longest time, but only the Walmarts, the ShopRites, the bigger grocery
oh
stores.
yeah, that's pretty much what it is now. Yeah, the
Okay,
bigger.
most of them. Is it fair to say that maybe it's not just, and again, not trying to mute out the whole mask thing, but isn't it easy to consider that maybe because of that shutdown, because people have been held up in their homes, that also has prevented the spread?
I don't know, because the whole reason that we were second in the world is because nobody was staying in their homes and wearing their masks. So I'm not certain.
Okay,
That's why I said it
by
wasn't in South Carolina; it was in Georgia.
But
It was
by
in Georgia.
design, doesn't that make sense?
I wouldn't know, because I haven't experienced that to see it with my own eyes. I mean, it would make sense if I could see it happening that way, yes. But in Georgia, they are completely open, and I mean completely, and their flu numbers are down. And in South Carolina, I misspoke. It is not in South Carolina. In South Carolina, we don't even have COVID numbers down. Like I said, 3 of my coworkers died, and I work in a call center, so that's 300 people on the floor every day with their mouths open, running their mouths. And after COVID hit and they shut down the company, we're all working from home. And then I'd say about 4 weeks later, 3 of my coworkers were dead.
And were they
Are you still
younger?
working at the vape shop?
Huh?
Do you still work at the vape shop?
No, not for a long time. Were they young? Yeah, 2 of them were young and 1 of them was older.
Okay. Did they? I mean, and again, probably things you may or may not know about them, but were they? Did they have other illnesses or anything like that? And again, just asking out of curiosity. No.
I don't. I know that the one lady, she had just had a child, so her body was kind of weak from that. And then one lady didn't have anything wrong with her, and I'm sure the older lady had things wrong with her. I'm not sure if they were like bad things, but I'm certain that she wasn't completely of good health.
Ah, damn, you're gonna get me all teared up. One woman had just had a child. No, that kid doesn't have. Damn.
Yeah, so wear a mask.
It's always rough to hear.
Exactly. And and I will say that woman, we were not required to wear a mask in the work unless we felt bad at the very beginning. Thank goodness, and this is the only time you'll ever hear me say this, thank goodness I had bronchitis when COVID hit. So I was actually out of work for 2 weeks. And then I never went back to work because they shut it down, and now we're working from home. I mean, I did go back to work, but at my house. And so they just, like I wasn't in there when all of that was going on. I didn't have a chance to wear a mask or not wear a mask if I felt bad, because they wouldn't even let me in the building. I tried to go back to work after my bronchitis was done, and I was like, yeah, they're like, how you feel? I'm like, I feel okay. I still feel kind of bad. They were like, go home. So I went home. And then, I had to be very diligent because my mother had just survived a widowmaker heart attack and, had her chest cracked. So I couldn't even go and see her because I had bronchitis, let alone COVID.
Oh yeah, well that's just well, to me would be common sense, just preventative maintenance, just to make sure. Anyway, I absolutely agree with that logic. I can remember when my mom went in for a quadruple bypass, it was kind of the same way. I didn't even want any of our family around her, period, for at least the first 3 to 5 weeks, and the doctor even telling me, well, it's all sealed and she's got liquid skin and all this, and I'm like, no, nobody's getting near her. So yeah, I mean, it really goes with the particular person that's involved. And yes, there should always be a decent sense of understanding how diseases and viruses and illness work. That way it can just protect their loved ones. I just don't agree. Like, one of the biggest things that I really thought was horrific that they did in New York, and there are numbers out there that within the very beginning, 40% of all the deaths were caused because of these idiots in New York that were putting sick COVID patients in these nursing homes. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? It just made no sense to me.
Well, I mean, we have to be on one side or the other. So we understand that in the beginning, we were not knowledgeable on everything that could happen with this disease or virus. Sorry. All we knew was that it was killing older people. That's what we all thought in the beginning, right? Even I said to someone, I'm not worried because I'm not 80 years old.
Mm.
I
Well, I
said
think
that in
that's
the
just
beginning.
kind of common sense if you ask me. If somebody's elder, like my mom, finished out her career working in a lot of,
Right.
subacute rehabs, nursing homes, and all that stuff, and it's just kind of, I don't know, disease and virus and illness 101 that you don't put anybody sickly in anywhere near any kind of senior citizen. That's just, or it's just,
And
I don't
let me give you one example, and then I really do got to go to bed because I'm really kind of screwing myself right now. But anyway, so
know.
there was a school in Georgia, and it is about 30 minutes from my house. Okay, and the principal said, "I ain't making none of these kids wear masks, not a damn one of them." So one of the students, and I'm sure you've seen it, put up a picture when they went back to school of the entire hall crowded with hardly any walking room, and no one had a mask on. And guess what happened? They had infections from their school,
Oh,
and
I believe it.
they had to shut the school down again.
I believe it.
So, and yes, I do agree, those of you who were saying that a mask does not protect 100%. No, it doesn't, but it helps. And yes, I do agree with washing hands and 6 feet apart. I do agree with this. Like I said, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just passionate. As he's passionate about his, he's just a little calmer about it. I don't know how to be calm. I'm sorry. Um, but I'm not sitting up here going, "You stupid motherfucker," blah, 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 blah. I'm just saying I'm passionate about this stuff. And yes, I do think it's dangerous to provide information when you and I both, neither one of us are doctors. I don't think my information should be taken as gospel, and I don't think yours should either. And I believe that you probably believe that as well. So yes, I do believe that everything, no matter what, everything everyone is saying is correct. Wash hands, keep your hands off your face, and please don't kiss any babies that aren't your own. And I only know that because my sister won't let me kiss my niece, and that made me hurt my feelings kind of something a little bit. But I'd rather her be okay. And there are people that do have suppressed immunities. There are people that cannot just keep their kids home. So I
Yeah.
mean, there are some like Blue Ridge. She can't keep her kid home. She can't. So it is just a common, like, just if you have to be around people and you can't do 6 feet, and you know that there's like, well, yeah, love check, that's true. You shouldn't kiss babies that aren't yours anyway. I agree. But if you have to be in a group of people and you have to think to yourself, do I know all these people? Do I know for sure that no one in this group has a suppressed immune system? If you can't say yes to that question, just wear a mask. If you can't be 6 feet away, if you can't wash your hands immediately, if you can't keep your distance from someone that might not be able to wear a mask, like an infant, or might have a suppressed immune system that even with the mask they might still be highly at risk, just wear one so we have that double. Double. If you're in a big group and you say, I don't want to wear a mask because I can be 6 feet away, okay, fine. All right. I will yield to that. Absolutely. If you can be 6 feet away from someone and you don't feel like wearing a mask, go for it. I'm totally down with that. But if you're in a group of people and you cannot answer for certain that those people are not going to be harmed if you happen to be a carrier, you should just wear a mask. It's not hurting anyone. I have debilitating asthma. My husband has even more debilitating asthma, and we are just fine with a mask. I mean, if you have to spend, like, you have to walk down the street and you're in a crowded street and you can't answer that question, honestly, and you have to wear your mask until you get into a store that doesn't really require the mask. I mean, it's not like you're wearing it all day long.
Right.
Well, I fear what a lot of this over politicizing and all the mainstream hype, I fear what it's doing to a lot of the people. Because let's face it, if all of us, especially we that are parents out there, we know that kids do get sick throughout the school year. This is just something that happens, and it's going to happen. It has happened, like I said. And granted, yes, as the new data comes in, of course, is going to be an increased infection rate. This is just something, it's going to happen no matter what. I feel it. I know it. There's no such thing as a perfect defense against these kinds of things. All we can do is try to prepare to the best that we possibly can based on all the data and the facts that are the suggestions that are given to us. And that's really all that anybody can do. Because again, I keep going back to the numbers. And again, yes, many of the numbers have been fudged left, right, and center. But for a lot of the average numbers within the past 10 years, okay, I just still believe and feel in my heart of heart. Yes, older people, no matter what, just by design, because of their age and more lower immune systems and all that, they are going to get sick. And there are perfectly healthy people too, in many cases, that may get sick as well. This is something that's going to happen. But I just feel that a lot of the hysterics that this has worked many people into it's just unjustified. It's just unwarranted. Because again, if you look at the numbers, like I said, I just keep going back to the numbers. Okay, 35.5 million people last year alone. But yet, and I'm still under 20 with the Worldometers, I believe, says it's under 22 million worldwide with this new virus. But yeah, and still, it kind of scares me to think that there might be something else that might come around the corner, but I don't know. It's like with any other thing that happens within the United States for whatever reason, especially in the past 4 years or so, everything's just had to be taken to the next level. And now you've got people fighting amongst each other, arguing and bickering back and forth and all that. And like you had even said earlier, most of us aren't doctors. We're not epidemiologists. We're not virologists. We're none of these things,
Right.
But now all of a sudden everybody believes that they're this, that, and the other. And it's like I said in the start, I know I'm not a doctor, but I tell you what, I can guarantee I've probably read more New England Journal of Medicine, Lancets, and many other major publications to try to do the best that I can to understand what's going on. And then being raised by somebody that was always in the medical field, I loved learning about it. She had all hopes and optimism I was going to become a doctor or nurse, but my career path went in a different route. But the point is that, I realize that there are many things in this world that we have to be scared of. But nowadays, the fact, in a good case in point is, it's like, you had come on here earlier talking about the redneck Trumps and this and that and the other. It's a bit sad that we've gotten to a point to where many people get so fired up over these things. And nowadays, and not saying you, but there are many people out there, just because of their political ideology, they attack each other. And I'm thinking, what in the hell what's happened in the past 4 years? It just baffles me, and then you take that stress alone, which stress is known to be the number one killer above cancer, above heart disease, above many other things, because it's the precursor and one of the biggest guides leading into so many different disorders, diseases, and it weakens our immune systems and all that stuff. It's just a shame what has happened, the current state of our country over so many different things that have happened kind of all at the same time. It sucks. And dare I say, I listen to a lot of these different political leaders, and, I try to watch some of these different mainstream sources and all that stuff. And I kind of feel it's just true. Is this because it's an election year that everybody's losing their minds? Everything's getting burnt down. People are attacking each other. You look at it within our community, it's more than a few different communities. Like, everybody's at each other's throats. And I'm just like, when is it enough? Why can't we just remember that we're all God's children, and the best way that we can be better people is by sharing with each other in a civil discourse type of manner? That's kind of the point.
I'm sorry. Spider Baby said, my dad wasn't just a number. We couldn't even be with him, having to just stare at him through a window while on the vent. I'm so sorry, Spider, that you lost your dad in such a horrible way. That is not, and here's the thing. When you have people in the chat, or even just people around you in your day-to-day life that have lost people. I know someone said in the chat, name someone that you know that died, not just a friend of a friend. I did have coworkers. Now, they weren't friends, but I did work with them on a daily basis. I knew their names. I knew their stories. Spider Baby's dad died. I mean, people are losing people that are close to them. And it is hard for someone, not for me, but I'm sure for Spider, it is hard for people to hear other people talk like it's not a bad thing when they've lost someone. And I know that you're not saying it's not a bad thing. I understand that. I do understand
that. Like I said earlier, I lost both my parents within 10 months of each other, so I do know a thing or two about loss.
That's how I'm saying, but some people do, and I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying it would be hard for someone to hear that. For Blue Ridge, she's terrified that her baby is going to, be impacted by this, and that's got to be terrifying. Her baby is so young, not even a year old, not even, she's just I'm sorry, half a year old, and it's just terrifying for some people, and that has to be okay. That has to be okay that people are scared, and that has to be okay that people are passionate about being scared. Am I scared? Absolutely. My husband still has to go to work. He still has to get his temperature taken. If he's 1 degree over, they send him home, and that's good. I'm okay with that. He's probably not okay with that. I'm okay with that because I don't want him to get sick. He has to wear a mask all day in a plant that runs 100-degree heat all day long because of what he does. And that just and his best friend is an undertaker. He owns a funeral home, which, by the way, never thought I'd say that in my entire life. But and they're having to do funerals, only immediate family. They're having to do funerals on like fucking Zoom calls because they can't pack that many people into the funeral home. Otherwise, I mean, it's heartbreaking. And for someone to be so involved, not to just put on a mask if you're in a large group of people and you can't socially distance. It just makes me feel like, where is, believe it or not, I don't understand. I know I'm asking too much of humanity to say, hey, just look. If you think that you're gonna scare someone, or if you think someone might be immune suppressed, just wear a mask until you're out of their vicinity. Then take it off all you want. Rip it off, burn it. I don't care. But when you're in a group where you cannot be far apart from each other, why not just wear one? It's not forever. It's not all day. Just do it. You're talking about being, and you. I'm not saying that you are against this. I'm just saying I'm using what you said. You said, it's good to have civil discourse. Civil discourse also includes understanding that some people really, really, really do need for you to wear a mask. It's not always about protecting you, and not you personally. I mean that in a general term.
Yeah.
It's about protecting everyone else around you. And at the same time, while other people are wearing their mask, they're protecting you. So it's a mutual beneficial agreement between humanity. It's not like we're saying, like my best friend, she works 12-hour shifts delivering babies. She can't take that mask off unless she's in the bathroom. And if she does that, she has to throw it away and grab another one and put it on. She cannot be there for 12 hours without that mask on her face. And it's got to be the saddest thing ever to have to wear that all day long, to have to deliver a baby and not be able to look at that mother and smile at her and say, here's your baby, isn't she beautiful, because she can't take the mask off. And that makes me want to cry for her. It makes me want to cry for everyone that have lost people, or that think, not you, but that there are some people who think this is just bullshit and they don't have to do anything. And what if those people have infected other people and they don't know it? Not that they would ever do it on purpose, but what if they have and they don't even know it?
Well, I'm glad that you said all that, because that segues nicely into many other things that I was thinking, but I'll kind of keep it down to just one. But, where do we draw the line at in our society? Because, again, and I just want to make this clear before I continue with that thought process, but I am in no way, shape, or form trying to make light of anybody's losses in any way, shape, or form, because I'll be honest with everybody, I'm pretty confident that I could say, just within the suicide rates, just within our sponsorship group alone, just since all this virus stuff has broke out, has been of such a huge size. It just, I'm not even going forward. I'm going to get all choked up here, but taking our history into consideration, okay, thinking about where we have been every single year for the past 10 years, and now we are faced with this current quote epidemic or pandemic, excuse me. Where do we draw the line here? Because now, with the fact that we do have we have the main part of the influenza season, and of course a couple or a few months later it comes back for one last round. Are we going to be like this year round for the rest of the days now? Because we know, again, that in many cases the vaccines are only 40% effective in many different cases, and I'm sure there's all kinds of studies, data to back that up. I just don't have my notebook on me right now. So again, where do we draw the line here? Because I know people have also had many good points and negative points against herd mentality as well. But let me just say something on that. With the herd mentality, that is actually something that human society has been going through since its creation, more or less. I mean, and this is how our bodies have been able to produce different antibodies that has helped protect us. And yes, in many cases, people have in fact died and passed away and all that, which is sad within itself. But this is how, we got to where we are today from everything that has happened in the past. So that's why I always, and I believe you me, I've been actually in contact with people that work at the CDC. I have been in talks with many people that work in many different fields throughout, major medical. And, I've always posed that question. And again, not making light of anybody's losses in any way, shape, or form, but just looking at this, trying to stay focused on where we are and how we get to a decent, reasonable future that is safe and effective and responsible for every single American and everybody around the world, but taking into consideration all of our history. And again, I've said the numbers many times now, but given the fact of how many cases that we have within the United States alone, how do we proceed? I mean, are we going to make sure that everything's shut down and we just keep big, shopping centers and everything else open? And this is how it's going to be? Because even with these vaccines that are coming out, again, I would, my best guesstimate with that would be that they would kind of be with the same standards and the same, they would have the same results as many of the previous vaccine trials and many of the other vaccines that have been put out year after year after year, which again, in many cases, I think the low end has been 40%, high end has been 60% effective. And pardon me, I don't have my notebook, which it does actually have the stats that are, printed from the CDC.gov and those sites. But, so I'm concerned about that because, again, I also do feel that when you take perfectly healthy children, they say don't have compromised immune systems or anything like that. Again, anybody that does have children that has weakened immune systems and all that, obviously you should consider keeping them in. And especially if you do have that much concern and you know that your child is susceptible to being, becoming sick, then it's just a wise move to make sure that you keep them in. But, children, when they interact with each other, obviously we pick up thousands and thousands of different bacteria and little bugs all the time that our bodies naturally process. And thus we naturally create different antibodies for it. This happens 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, our whole lives. And then obviously as we get older, that's why, a lot of seniors get in trouble, especially when their immune systems start becoming compromised or just even weakened just because of being a bit older. And then you take somebody that is sick, that doesn't seem or appear to be sick, that now, passes something along to them. And then unfortunately they pass away. But I don't know, I wonder how we responsibly proceed without ripping each other's heads off. That's all I ask, really.
I just don't see what the big problem is about wearing a mask when you need to. I just will never understand that, ever. Not ever.
Shout out to the essential workers who have worked since day one.
Yes,
Evelyn.
absolutely. Absolutely, Evelyn.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that.
I mean, so, listen, I get that there are all sides, and I also get that not all of us know exactly what's going on, no matter how much we claim. Not you, True Helper.
I know.
Not all of us know.
Have you heard me attack you yet?
No. I just didn't want you to. I didn't want you to think I was.
I think you've gotten to know I'm a little more civilized than that. And actually, I was going to ask you earlier if you needed a hug.
Oh no, I'm not a hugger.
She's like, no, hell to no.
But so I mean, here's the thing. You have to remember, and if we go back through history, because I was a history minor, so at least I have that much going for me. If we go back through history, there have been many pandemics from the Dark Ages up until, the Renaissance and on. Pandemics happen, and they happen more often than we actually know. And there are some that just were not reported as much as others. So what did we learn from the plague? What we learned is we needed better hygiene. What are we learning now? We also today need better hygiene. I think did Sharon point that out, or someone? I can't remember who said it, but someone did, that we are learning that better hygiene is needed. So the whole reason that we defeated the plague is, number one, the plague started to die out. Eventually a virus is going to reach a point of mutation where it's just not going to mutate anymore. It's reached its peak mutation. Okay. Or we are doing a proper combination of things that might just be coincidental that actually gets it to stop. And eventually that's going to happen with this as well. No pandemic ever lasts forever. No virus ever lasts forever without eventually meeting its end. Now, that might seem like a blasé way to look at it, and that's not what I mean. But what I mean is, if we would have had streptomycin and a few other things and penicillin back in the day of the plague, no one would have died, because plague medicine is the easiest thing to make and combine. People still get the plague today.
Mhm.
Every year, there are hundreds of people who are diagnosed with the plague. Of course, it's no longer called the plague, but hundreds of people are diagnosed with the plague in this day and age every year, and we treat it like it's nothing. But back then, it was a death sentence. It was an automatic death sentence. And so I truly believe that we are not in the habit of being patient any longer. We are in the day and age of answers being readily available immediately. And we are all pissed off. We're all scared no matter what side we land on. We're all pissed off and we're all scared that we don't have an immediate answer. And we all have to understand that this is not going to come immediately.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, it's not going to happen quickly. I'm sorry, it's just not. And anyone who takes that vaccine and lives, more power to you. But even though I am pro-vaccine, I will not be taking that thing. Not even a little bit.
My husband thinks I'm crazy because I said I would. And here's why. Listen, y'all have to look at it. I am an essential worker. I have not missed a beat since this started. We have to go to work every day. And I'm sick of being scared of it. I honestly, it's time to shit or get off the pot. Take the vaccine, see what happens, catch it, and see what happens. I am sick of being scared of it, and I know that's a shitty way to look at it, but yeah, my hands. Just the other day from cleaner, they went through my skin from how much I wash my hands and how much hand sanitizer I use. The masks. I don't want to hear when I hear someone complain about having to wear a mask through the grocery store. I work 10-hour shifts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's every bit of 100 degrees with that mask on. It is so hot. If I can do it, y'all can walk through Walmart for 30 minutes with your mask on. You can walk through Kroger. And my husband is claustrophobic. He has a hard time with the mask. Hey, Shell. But he does it, because he's, well, one, it's required, but two, he's gonna, he's just gonna. So it's I will not have enough.
Right.
Require me. I don't know if they'll require me, but I will absolutely. If I grow a second head, well, I'll just put makeup on my head.
Is it going to have its own channel?
Yeah, it'll have its own channel.
And I'm sure somebody will be dragging you for it, no doubt.
And, yeah, look at that bitch over there with 2 heads, thinking she's better than everybody.
Yeah, exactly, Red Pill. Like I am. Listen, you guys. I know that I come on here loud and fast talking and really pissed off and really passionate. But I think True Helper and Randy knows that. That's now True Helper knows. Randy's known it forever. That's just how I am. I'm not unreasonable, and I will listen to people, and I will hear this. I just told. I'm sorry if I keep getting your name wrong. I just told Sharon that I could agree with what she was saying. I could see her side. I'm not unreasonable, but I do have passion, and I do have passion about certain things, and I'm not going to calm down about that. Just like True Helper, if he was a louder speaker, he'd probably, be just as passionate about what he believes in a louder way. But, here's the thing. I'm not going to take insults just because I'm pro-mask or whatever. And I am not trying to insult anyone, except for the idiots who shoot their guns day in and day out because they're bored and they live down the road from me and scare me when my husband is on night shift. Those people I do want to insult and judge. But here's the thing. Like, Brandy has to wear her mask 10 hours a day. My best friend has to wear her mask 12 plus hours a day. My husband has to wear his mask sometimes upwards of 16 hours a day because they overwork you. I love you. And so, it's not, here's the thing. Do you know how many people rallied against having to wear a seatbelt? So many people. Guess what? People wear a seatbelt now. Because if not, you get a ticket. I'm not saying that's going to happen now. It does happen in some areas, I've heard, but not in my area.
You do hear.
What'd you say?
You do hear. You get pulled over if you don't wear a seatbelt.
No, for a mask. I know some areas are. Oh yeah, you get tickets here. Yeah, they are waiting to pull you over for anything here. But you know, I'm not against True Helper. I'm not against what he's saying, because, he has his opinion. I have mine. I'm not trying to be mean. Everyone will tell you that I'm just loud. I am loud and I talk fast and I try to get in as many words as I can before someone else speaks. That's it. I do have compassion for people. I do have love for people. And I do worry about every single one of you, regardless of where you fall on this. I don't want anyone, regardless of who you are or how I feel about you, to be sick. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I want you all to be happy and healthy and just live your life. But live it. Give yourself a chance to live it. And by God, give other people a chance to live it by wearing a mask if you cannot socially distance. That's all I'm asking. That's all I want. Oh, and by the way, I know none of you in here believe this, but let me tell you something as a new favorite pastime. I watch those Karen compilations, and these ladies that go into a store and say, "You do know it's federal law that you cannot ban me from your store. I
Yeah.
will be suing you." And I'm like, bitch, you didn't sue them when they said no shirt, no shoes, no service. You sure as fuck ain't gonna sue them when they said no shirt, no shoes, no mask, no service. Move the fuck along. Store owners can agree to not serve anybody they damn well please, regardless of what you say.
That's right.
I just want to get that out there. I know none of y'all feel this way because none of y'all are stupid, but they can make you get out their store for whatever the hell they want. And ain't nothing you can do about it. And I'm going to tell you right now, and Randy knows because she works for Wendy's, and I know because my company is all about the legal stuff because we have to be for what I do. Nobody gives a shit if you call corporate.
No.
Nobody. Do you, Randy? Do you? How many times do you hear that?
Every day.
Every day. Nobody gives a flying fuck if you call corporate because corporate don't care either.
No. They're gonna side, with what I say. I mean, they're gonna look at the situation, but they're gonna believe me because I've put in 6 years of dedication. So they're not, go ahead and call corporate. You're not gonna do anything to me.
Exactly.
I get that threat every day. You didn't like what you got. I didn't give you a free meal. Blah 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 blah
Right,
blah.
exactly.
You saw they want to say that they saw someone not wearing a mask. Well, there's 2 positions in our store that's actually not required to wear a mask. And at first they weren't wearing a mask, and now they are, just because, well, honestly, they got scared, I think. But
Douglas.
has anyone seen my mommy? Douglas. I just rocked you to sleep, Douglas.
Is that your dragon?
It looks like him, yeah.
It is your dragon. That is hilarious.
That is. That's a good one. I just rocked him to sleep. Just fed him. He ate some roaches, some worms, and I rocked him. All while you were debating.
Hi, Monique. I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you again.
Hello, Monique. But yeah, we get that complaint a lot. Anyway, so a woman comes in and she starts taking pictures of this little boy. He's 60. Honest to God, he is 60-something pounds. He's really small. And I went crazy on her. I got it. I videoed it, but I'm not good. I almost uploaded it because she called corporate on me, and they called and they're like, "You was in the right. Don't worry about." And I called her Karen. I gave her a
refund. Karen.
Yep. When she was leaving, I said, "Bye, Karen."
I knew it.
It's because, she's like, "Well, I don't think I want to eat this." Well, then why are you carrying your 2 bags of food around if you don't think you want to eat it?
Right.
I mean, so, whatever. But yeah, we hear it all the time. I don't care if you call corporate. It's
right. See, and with us, like, I don't want to say what I do, so I won't, but I will say that there is a contract involved with the people we work with. Okay. So they'll be like, "I am getting my lawyer if you don't do what I want." I'd be like, "Okay, that's fine. But if you take a look at the warranty, which is your obligation to read since you did sign a legal and binding contract, it does say that no matter how many lawyers you get, we only enter arbitration. So you have a wonderful day, and be sure to tell your lawyer to read the contract as well."
Yeah, not to mention trying to acquire a lawyer on most any case is going to cost you anywhere between $2,000 and $20,000. Yeah.
We only do arbitration, period, point blank. We don't go any further than that, and they know it. And like one guy's like, my dad is a judge. And I'm like, if your dad is a judge and you take this to your dad in his courtroom, I will be disappointed if he does not give you hell for not reading the contract which you signed, paid for, and agreed to, which is legally binding.
I was gonna say, but the whole thing, it's kind of like it's negated by the fact that it would probably never even make it that far. It's just somebody running their mouth trying to scare
No,
somebody on the other end of the
it's
phone.
negated by the fact is that his dad is not a judge.
Yeah,
You know how many customers we get who are illegal? That's how I'm just saying. Do you know how many customers we get who say, my son's a lawyer, I'm a lawyer, that my dad's a lawyer, my dad's a judge? Yeah, it's ridiculous. And Randy, I'm gonna call corporate. Okay, Karen. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Literally, she started dialing the phone right then. Nobody's answering. Trust me.
Right.
Nobody's going to answer you.
Right.
I'm looking
Exactly.
when, we needed a new roof and I had to call 1,700 times just to get them to put a roof on the restaurant. You think they're going to answer you? Sure.
Wow.
Hey, Randy. Next time if you go to Nashville Pet Products. They have a lot of cool shit for your dragon.
Oh, really? I got to find him a leash that he will love.
Nashville Pet Products, I'm telling you.
And I'll tell a boring dragon story. Y'all know, we rescued one and Timber moved out and she took him because, he technically was hers. And people really do get these dragons and abuse them. Believe it or not, if you're going to get a bearded dragon, you can get a rescue.
That's horrible.
It's not going to be free, but they've had a rough life. So we took him, at first we took him to the wrong vet. There's vets that you call a vet and you say, do you see bearded dragons? If they say, sure, don't go to that vet. Because we took him to the wrong one. We found one the other day in my Shut up, it's got bat wings, Douglas.
He's like, you really want me to be bat, don't you?
So you abuse them by you got to give them calcium, you got to clean their tank, you have to really take care of them. They have to be the right temperature. And it's a wonder he lived. Anyway, so we found an exotic vet. We had to go to Nashville, $500 for a vet bill.
Wow.
And he had a broken rib. He has metabolic. Yep, he has metabolic bone disease. He was severely dehydrated because where they didn't feed him, clean the tank. They didn't give him calcium. They didn't feed him greens. So, and that's where they get a lot of their water when they're older. Right now, Douglas will drink water, but an older dragon usually won't drink water. So, I mean,
Randy, did you name him Douglas, or was he already named?
I named him Doug.
Okay,
Doug the dragon.
Carry on.
Yeah, it was absolutely worth every cent. Timber is afraid of being judged because they look at this dragon and they see that he's had tail rot before.
Oh my God.
From a dirty tank. And they're looking at her side-eyed like she's the piece of shit that did this. Well, you try to explain over and over, no, he came sick and we wanted to save him. And, who knows if they believe it or not, but, they sure did give a good lecture, but they also took the 500, so.
I know one person that I knew like a long time ago, they got in trouble and got their, I don't know what kind of lizard creature it was, but, they were like torturing theirs by giving him crickets that were too big, and the crickets were like overtaking him.
Oh yeah. They'll have too much protein. You have to feed them the right size worms, the right size roaches. It's not easy I say, don't just go and get your kid a pet, man. Look into it.
You're 100% right about that. I used to do a lot of volunteering at different pit bull rescues and all that. And I'd always tell people, if you're not ready for a baby, then you ain't ready for a puppy. Nope. I mean, granted, there is a bit of difference, but still, you get the point. People just, I just get a pup and throw him out in a doghouse and chain him up, and I just throw him a bucket of food and water. Nah, nope.
So my sister messaged me last night, my baby sister, and she says, "Hey, you still got care credit?" And I'm like, "No, why?" And she's like, "Because my dog broke his leg. We came home from work and his leg was broken because they have a fenced-in backyard. And I was like, oh my God. And she showed me a picture. The poor thing was like, it was a clean break though. But anyway, she goes to the vet and she said, is there any way that you can report that a tree fell on my dog? I'm like, Audrey, what the fuck are you talking about? Because she wanted to file it under her home insurance.
Oh.
Because it costs $700 to get his
Yeah.
casted up, but like she said, the vet looked at her like she had lost her damn mind. She said, is there any way this could have happened by a tree falling on him? The doctor went like, no.
Damn. I was gonna say you don't want to catch a felony over a dog broken leg. Nope. That's exactly what it is. Insurance fraud.
She said, so I just paid the $700 damn. Now he's got a pink ass cast on his leg.
Vicky, I bought 2 fish last year and they're a lot of work. I know that's a sad state of my laziness. I have a fish tank and I'm so crazy about my fish tank. I only have 3 fish in there.
What do you have?
They're just goldfish.
Oh.
But I just had one. Timber left when she moved out, she left the fish tank and 1 fish. Well, he looked lonely. So I went to PetSmart to buy a fish. The woman guilted me into buying 2 fish. It's been a whole dramatic thing.
I love your Randy.
I had to get the right fuel pump, and everybody on here complains about it because I like the waterfall sound that it makes. And
I was gonna say, I got to be honest. Sometimes it makes me want to hit the bathroom when I'm listening.
Everybody says that.
I didn't even notice it until you said that. I'm like, oh, now I hear it.
Yeah. But they're happy, but I'm constantly fooling with that fish tank. And now I'm worried the weather's getting colder and they have a heater in there. And I don't know exactly what temperature it's got to be. Listen.
Are you scared you're going to cook your fish?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have the tank, the easier it is to keep.
Oh,
Yes.
Randy.
Tammy, the easier you have it, the easier it is to keep up. That's true. And I have an algae eater. I forgot about that. And he just keeps growing and growing. And
there was a guy across when I used to live in apartments a long, long time ago. I was like 18, 19 years old. There was a guy that lived across the hall from us, the breezeway or whatever. And he had an Oscar. Now, I did not know. This was the first time I had ever heard that a fish will grow to the size of the tank.
Yep.
I did not know this. That motherfucker was the scariest piece of shit I ever seen in my whole life. And it was huge, like massive. I'm like, this fish has no room to turn around. Get this motherfucker a bigger tank or put it back in the ocean where it came from.
I'm glad you said that because growing up, I actually had 2 of them. And I had I can't remember. Gosh, it was a huge tank. It was at least a couple hundred gallons. And I had 2 Oscars, and I had a bunch of other really expensive fish. I remember because I had a paper route and all that good crap, trying to buy all these exotic fishes and all this crap. And I tell you what, one day I came home and every other fish was gone. And so
are they predatory?
Oh, I was so upset. Excuse me?
Are they predatory Oscars?
Yes.
I didn't know that at the time.
I don't know anything about fish.
13 years old. Here I was with a bunch of fish and all that stuff. And I just had no idea. And
Randy. Douglas is trying to get people to call PPS.
I already put him to bed. True helper. I did the same thing. My first husband and I, we had a fish tank. And you know why you put that? I can tell you right now. How old? Do you mind me asking how old you are?
Oh, I'm up there.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming that you got your fish the same place I did, which was when Walmart started carrying fish. And then they would hire these people and put them in the fish department who thought they were fish experts. Ask them, can you put
funny already?
Can you put we got an Oscar and they flop, they make a mess, but they're ugly. They're so ugly, they're cute.
They're scary.
Yes. Yep. I said, can we put it in with our goldfish? Abso-freaking-lutely. You cannot.
I got ours when they were like 2 or 3 inches long, maybe. It was always from this private fish store. But I remember when Walmart tried to get into all that crap. That was, trust, I'd never really bought too many fish from there. But it was crazy. Like I said, they grew and grew and grew. And then it was after, I don't know, a few months of owning them, all of a sudden, poof, every other fishy was gone. Well,
Wait. Love Shack is telling the best story in the freaking chat. Hold on. Okay, I had Oscars. They have little personalities. Ours was named Pig, and he liked his belly scratched. We only had the Oscars in the tank and feeders only. Pig and Puff, funny little creatures. We came home and Puff was laying on the floor dead. We are convinced that Pig tossed her out of that tank.
Yes, they will flop. They will.
I
That is
learned that the
so
hard way.
funny.
That's why you got to keep a top on them tanks. I tell you, those damn things that jump out
Oh
of
my
the tank.
god. Holy shit, that's funny.
I'm
I
too,
just wasn't ready. Like anything else, our mothers and fathers always tell us, take your time, do your research. This is all you. You're going to be taking care of it. And yeah, all right.
And then
Yeah, all right.
Queen's dog. Apparently, I'm doing the media rundown of what's going on in the chat.
Oh, wait,
Apparently, the Queen's dog cost him upwards of $1,000 because it swallowed a spoon. And Queen has now stated that this is the most expensive spoon they have ever bought.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right. You got to be ready. They're just like kids. I'm telling you.
they are.
Oh, it was a spork. I'm sorry. It was a spork. I'm sorry.
Sport.
Yes, it was.
I treat my animal. If I ever was to come back, I would want me I would be a dog, and I would want me to be the dog mom. That's how much. And my cats. Yeah, I can't believe I let Timber take 2 of the cats with her, but they were best friends, and one of them was hers. But my oldest daughter, this is so sad. She moved in a couple of years ago. She left her cat here. Well, I took him and I got him fixed. I got him microchipped. And so the other day, she keeps calling him hers. And someday she's going to take him. And listen, he's my buddy. He sleeps with me. I'm scared all the time like she's going to try to take this cat. So this is so sad. I paid her $30 for a cat that I've already paid to get fixed, microchipped, bought food for 2 years. But to seal this deal, I said, yeah, cats have best friends. To seal this deal, I said, she needed $30, and she said, she wanted her boyfriend to bring it to me later. I said, if I give you this $30, will you quit trying to take Cheech from me? My life is, but that's what I am. I'm going to end up I'll be the old cat lady.
So I will tell you, Randy, is that the best part of my life is when my husband and we went up to the pet shop, or not the pet shop, what is it? The animal rescue. Okay. And we were looking at getting a dog because we had just bought this house and we had a nice, huge backyard and, whatever. But we were just going up there to look because we still had to fix the fence in our backyard before we got one. We ended up leaving with a cat. So they had this, in the animal shelter, they have 2 sunrooms, and those are for the cats. So they can sit up at the front in these sunrooms for a few hours, and then at night they get, put in their beds or whatever. So I went into one of the sunrooms, and there was this two giant Maine Coons in there. One was orange, and he was fat and didn't want to be messed with, and the other one was a black baby. And I looked down, and black Maine Coons are not extremely rare, but they're rare to see in a shelter. And I looked down and I said, oh my goodness. And I picked him up. Well, my husband has asthma. So I'm like, here, you hold him, see if he sheds too much and see if it bothers your breathing. Cause his is much worse than mine. And we go to put him down and he just starts screaming at us, And so he didn't want me to pet other cats. So we ended up adopting him. He was 10 years old. And I know some of y'all have heard this story. He had one family for 10 years. They got an overseas job. The cat had heart problems and anxiety issues, so the vet would not approve him to fly. So they had to give him up because they couldn't turn the job down. And it broke their heart. But the lucky thing is because they were such responsible cat owners, we did have all of his paperwork. And we adopted him, and we gave him 3 years before he passed away. But Maine Coons have extremely bad thyroids, and he lost almost all of his body weight almost overnight. And he wasn't able to walk. And then the next morning we found him, he had passed away in his sleep. But the other story is I had this dog who is still alive. Thank goodness. Anyway, the moral of the cat story is we have another old man. He's not as old, but he's just as grumpy. So I had this dog. He was an Offenpinscher, and he was my favorite dog. His name was Doctor because I love Doctor Who. And I raised him from 6 weeks old. He was my baby. But then when my best friend moved to Nashville and she asked me to move with her, I couldn't take him right away. Well, I was friends with the man who had got his litter mate sisters. So I said, can he stay with you until I can come and get him? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. So he took my dog, took very good care of him, absolutely very good care of him. And then he said, hey, I'm getting kicked out of my apartment. I'm going to let my mom take Doctor, and I'm going to take my 2 dogs to my brother's house and live there. I'm like, that's fine, because his mom loved my dog. Well, it turned out that I wasn't able to go and get him. So I pretty much just told him, your mom, he loves your mom. You can keep him because I know you take care of him, and he's got other dogs to be friends with and everything. And he had already bonded with the other dogs. So then his mother died. And I said, hey, I know you're not able to take Doctor. What are you going to do with him? And he was like, listen, I know that I should give him back to you, but he's the only connection my dad has left to my mom. And he loves my dad, and I just couldn't do it. As much as I missed him so much, I simply could not take him away. So now he still has him. His dad still has him because I just could not bring myself to take that baby away from him. So he's alive, though. He's happy. So that's all that matters.
Yes.
But that hurt like a bitch. I still could not do it. I might be rude sometimes, but I'm not mean.
Randy will be a cat lady rocking a kitty with Dougie Fresh on her shoulder. And that happens all the time.
Wait, what?
IBF said Randy will be a cat lady rocking a kitty with Dougie Fresh on her shoulder. All the time that happens. When I get off work, what I do is I come home, I get my bath, and I feed. Dougie's usually fed himself, but I rock him to sleep, and I have a cat in my lap.
You rock your dragon to sleep?
Every night, yes.
Oh, but let me ask you a serious question. Do they have affection like mammals?
Yes.
So he likes when you rock him to sleep?
Yes.
I'm not being rude. I'm really asking.
No. He does. Yes, a bearded dragon. They love to cuddle.
Really?
They love to,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they do.
That's
now,
awesome.
If you get the other day, Timber tried to get me a
Vicky.
I've been wanting a leopard gecko, and now I don't, because when I saw the price of the vet bill for how much it'll be if they get sick, I'm like, nah, I'm good. But now geckos don't like to be cuddled. They want to be left alone.
I never knew that any amphibian, are they amphibians? What are they considered? Reptiles?
They're reptile.
I never knew any reptile wanted to be cuddled at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I never knew that. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's all right. He'll crawl right up under my chin. They like to sleep with you. They like to.
My world is opening up. I never knew this shit.
Yep, they like to sleep on your chest. Any kind of, skin to skin. They love that. They are really. Does he show affection?
How does he show affection?
He does, blind. I don't know. Like he comes.
How?
How does he show? Mm-hmm. Well, he comes and cuddles me and loves.
That's so awesome. I never knew reptiles could do that.
Uh-huh. They're really smart. I couldn't listen. I am all for getting a bearded dragon as pets, except I really hate that we've taken them out of their environment. And,
haven't they been out of their environment for a while now?
Yeah, they have, but it's still sad if you think about it, because I look at what Ralph is going through, and I know that he wouldn't be going through that had someone left him alone and him not been bred to be a pet.
Mm-hmm. So and who's Ralph?
Ralph is the rescue that we just took to the vet.
Oh, okay. So Vicky says, does he show it by less hissing?
He never hisses.
Is that a rarity? Do they hiss a lot usually?
No. Just if they get mad, they'll hiss. But so far, he's never gotten mad at me.
Do you how big does he get?
They get pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How big is he now?
Right now, he's not even a pound. He's probably about.
Anna said, "Oh, that's so sweet. I might swap the best friend for one, or the boyfriend."
Couple of ounces. Sure. He's not huge. He's grown quite a bit. Like the one that I had, Bentley, I got him and he was sick, and he died. He weighed 11 grams when he died.
Oh.
I cried. Oh my gosh.
Douglas says, I'm afraid to get mad at my mom.
I would. What hisses? I'm confused. No. Dragons do hiss. Mine just hasn't hissed yet.
Y'all. I'm sorry.
Has hissed. Fintan has hissed. We have 3.
You have 3 dragons?
Yeah, 2
Okay.
moved with Timber though. 2 was Timbers. And Fintan, like he's really healthy. He's big. I don't think he's good. Yeah, he licks me blonde. But they automatically lick when they any kind of reptile like that I've seen, the geckos, chameleons, dragons, whenever they're walking, they lick to get their safe space.
Like that's their comfort?
And they want to get familiar with it. And we put Fintan down in the floor at Timber's house the other day. It's the first time he had gotten to walk on it. It's a hardwood floor. I have carpet. And he was trying so hard. He would run, slide, lick, run, slide, lick, run,
the
slide,
licking, lick. Is that scenting? Is that how they smell?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Now I understand.
They sound so sweet. I couldn't feed them. I didn't think I would ever be able to feed one. But I'm telling you, when he eats 40 worms in one setting, I'm like tickled to death. Bentley wouldn't eat. That was one thing. He came with parasites. He was just overbred. So yeah.
Randy, I think your next pet project, since my husband won't let me have one, is a groundhog. Because let me tell you, there is a woman on TikTok, and she has one, and her name is Hamlet. She calls her Hammy, and they do this. I think it's a groundhog. Let me see. Anyway, but she does this little thing where when she's excited, she goes, Yahoo! And but she does it, she'll start down and then she'll jump up and say it every time. It's like she can't help herself. I need to find out what she is. I think she's a groundhog. I could be big. Hammy. Hammy for Hamlet.
Let
me see. It's a prairie dog. I'm sorry. It's a rescued prairie dog.
Oh, I would love to have a prairie dog.
And you should watch it. Okay. Do you have TikTok, Randy?
I think I have it downloaded because Timber sends me them all the time, but I don't really watch it.
So the person is called Hammy for Hamlet, and she has this prairie dog, and every time she'll stand up when she gets excited and she'll go, Yahoo! And throw her little arms in the air. It's so cute. But so far, my husband will not let me have a prairie dog or an otter, even though we have a guest bathroom that it can live in. So he just doesn't love me.
I would love to have a monkey. I would love to have a prairie dog. I wanted a ferret. They do smell.
It is like Vine, Vicky.
Now the other day, Jim was home. He put a picture on Facebook. They found a baby raccoon. It was covered in mud. It's been raining a lot here. And so I wrote on Facebook, I'm like, please tell me that you brought it home. And he said, no, I will put it out to find its mama. Stop it.
Pammy said, don't give you any ideas.
I know.
It's so cute. The prairie dog is so, so, so cute. And she'll be like, can I get a Yahoo, Hammy? And Hammy will go, Yahoo!
See, if I had a freaking animal that talked, I ever saw was a cross snap. The mama just froze looking. Oh.
See, I want an umbrella cockatoo, but I know for a fact that I could never take care of a bird. So I would never do that to a bird. But I would love to meet one and touch it and have it cuss at me.
Yes. The dumbest thing I've ever done, let me tell you, and then I'll go. I was going into my hair salon, and people are not going to believe this. I used to have a picture. I was walking in, and there was a freaking baby parrot. Y'all know how expensive parrots are. They're really expensive. It was beautiful. And I'm like, is that a parrot? It just flew over there. And so then the parrot flies on my shoulder, and I'm like, what's going on? Is this a joke? And everybody in the salon was freaking out because there's a parrot and nobody knows where the parrot's from. So then the parrot gets on my head. So then I'm like, what? We start calling around. I walked up and down the street asking people, is this your parrot? Is this your parrot? It was nobody's parrot. So they tried to get me to take the parrot home with me. and all I could think about was my cats. Like, I don't have anything to put this parrot in. Then my cats, they're going to kill it. So I gave it this mom and kid. Hey, 180 walked in, and so I handed the parrot over to the mom. But I regret that now because the parrot, I don't know whatever happened to it, but I could have had a parrot. And they're like I said, they live to be 80.
Yeah, they do live a long time. You know, there's a vet that I take my cats to, and they have an injured crow that can never be released. It has a wing amputated, but his name is Brandon, you know, from The Crow, and he's grumpy as shit. And when the vet's office gets too quiet, when there's not enough animals in there, it barks. It barks.
Wow.
Yeah, it barks to make sound. And you say, Brandon, come here right now. And it stomps when he's mad. But yeah, he'll talk to you. You'll say, Brandon, you want a treat? He'll say, shut up.
That is so cool. See, I'm a little afraid of birds, IBL, to be honest.
My mom is too.
We've had cockatiels. We've had what's the other birds you get that are pretty cheap?
Oh, the lovebirds or whatever?
No, parakeets.
Parakeet, yeah.
And I always get in my head that I'm getting histoplasmosis, that they're taking oxygen, and I give them away. So that's why I don't know. But I've always said I wanted a parrot to teach you how to talk, but I know I wouldn't.
See, I want an umbrella cockatoo, but they're like huge and they're white, but they like to rant just like I do. I mean, they rant and it's hilarious because they think that they're saying something, but I'll tell you this, then I got to go. My mother is terrified. I mean, absolutely terrified of birds. If it flies and it's not an airplane or a helicopter or kite, she doesn't want anything to do with it. So like, I did not tell her when I took her to Medieval Times for her birthday that there would be a hawker there. She was not happy with me, and I had to pretend like I had no clue there would be a hawker there, even though I'd been there 3 times already. And so the hawk flew over her head, and she screamed. And while I was laughing, everyone else was trying to make sure she was okay. But funny enough, her favorite animal, because this woman's she's an enigma, is the owl.
I agree.
I mean, but she's terrified of birds.
Listen, have you seen the people that have pet owls? Oh my God.
Yes. So I do know that it's very, very legal to have those tiny barn owls in Japan. So there are a lot of Japanese Instagrams and TikToks where they have these tiny little owls. They're so cute.
Oh. See,
and they're so funny.
I would love it. It's illegal here to have a raccoon. And Jim's
Really?
like, why? Yeah. He said, why would you put on Facebook? He said, what if I did bring it home?
True.
No,
True.
Yeah. No, yeah, but you rescued it. It was all muddy. I would have gave it a bath. You know, I would have named it because I used to have an aunt that had one, and it would lift the lid off the cookie jar and get in there with its little hands and get a cookie.
Oh my God. So like there's this channel I watch. It's called Care Rescue. It's a big rescue in Texas. Not the same rescue from fucking Tiger or whatever. Anyway, he actually does work with Texas A&M. So like they don't sterilize their animals in case there is an instance of animals going extinct. They have a breeding deal with A&M in case they need to breed the animals. But anyway, they what was I gonna say? Can't even remember what I was gonna say. What were you talking about?
Raccoons, owls.
Oh. So the last time that there was that big flood in Texas that happened, the next video they did was this little kid had brought in a cat. And he said, you know, this cat got washed away in the flood and it ended up in our yard. It was just a kitten. So we took it. It was like a day-old kitten, and we started like bottle feeding it and shit, and it started getting aggressive. Turns out that motherfucker was a bobcat. So they found the sister. So now they have the 2 bobcats that this poor family had rescued from the flood and tried to keep as cats, but turned out they were bobcats, and we have bobcats here, and they are not fun.
Hey, y'all. I'm sorry to cut in here. I got a few sponsorship calls going on right now, so I got to get off here. But I greatly appreciate you having me up.
I think you are a freaking awesome crew helper, and I admire what you do. You know, I'm also in recovery.
Congratulations on that. Absolutely. But I tell you, it's always expected about Friday and Saturday night. I always get between, half a dozen to at least 2 dozen calls during the weekend. But that's what I'm here
Hey,
for.
That's
I
right.
respect you too. My brother is going through recovery right now, and thank you for putting up with my passionate ranting.
That's all good. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the conversation we had tonight. I wish I could just stay a little longer, but I do got to run. But thank you
All
very
right.
much.
I hope
And
you'll
for
come
everybody in
back.
chat,
I hope you'll come back with that voice of yours.
thank you. And for everybody in chat, I'm so sorry. I got to get better at following chat. But at the same time, I've been texting the whole time I've been on this thing. But I do got to go. So again, thank you so much, Randy, for having me. Minnie, it's
Thank
been a
you.
pleasure conversing with you. Absolutely. And please, everybody, just be conscientious and stay safe. God
Yep.
bless everybody.
Bye.
All right, good night.
Good night.
Hannah, yes, possums are good pets. They are very good pets. In fact, they're actually very clean. A lot of people think that they're nasty and that you shouldn't have them, but we have them here. They run rampant around here, and they are incredibly clean creatures. They don't have as much fur as many creatures, so they don't get fleas all that much. And I wouldn't want one because they're ugly as shit. But I have heard that they are very good pets.
I've never heard that.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to have an armadillo. My husband's like, "Are you crazy?" Because they carry some. I guess they carry some disease, but
Do they?
yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
the armadillo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they carry yep, hold on. That shit where your skin falls off and your body parts fall off. That's what they carry. What's it called? The leopard. They carry leprosy.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, but that's the sad thing is, y'all, I've never seen an alive armadillo. They're always dead on the side of the road.
Well, that's because they're masters at not actually showing themselves. Yeah, they do. They carry leprosy, but I've heard that it's incredibly hard to catch it from them because I mean, people handle them all the time at zoos and they don't have their limbs falling off.
Vicky.
Well,
Me
what?
too, Vicky. But I would really prefer to not have my body parts fall off. Well, here, listen, the we've only been seeing those around for about 3 years.
Oh, okay, Douglas. Thank you. Thank you. Your dragon has clarified that their blood is poisonous. You have a very smart dragon.
I do have a smart dragon.
Douglas said that if you got a prairie dog, he was coming to live with me, and I said you might shank me if he did. So that was a no-go.
I love. I mean, that's my thing. Digging up. We had them dig. Listen, I know. I have going
They're
out
so
to my
cute
mailbox.
though.
Going out to my mailbox, I stepped in a hole. I thought I twisted my ankle, but I didn't. And that's from those stupid armadillos. They dig holes in your yard.
Do they?
And they grunt. They'll go.
Have you watched that? There's this Love Shack said that she spotted a porcupine here. So have you? There's a lady that rescued a porcupine, and she's actually part of a porcupine rescue place, but she's keeping this one at her home as he recovers. She found him when he was a teeny tiny baby when his mama got hit by a car, and he was still attached to her. So he was probably only about a week old, if that old. So she took him in. His name is Teddy. And I never knew this, but they talk when they eat. They like go, rah, 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 rah. And I'm like, oh my God. Now my life's ambition is to not only have an otter and a prairie dog. Yelling at my husband. But now I also have to hear a porcupine eat.
Oh. I've never seen a porcupine.
With all the fires here, we have bear and mountain lion spottings, I suppose, in residential areas here right now. Already we are dealing with coyotes coming into our yards in daylight, so shotgun is ready. The worst thing that we have here is bobcats, and the only time they're really super dangerous is when they're hungry, or they've gone rogue from their family. But they're also protected here. We're not allowed to shoot them unless we're in immediate danger. So there's that. Other than that, South Carolina and Georgia has a lot of snakes. And also, South Carolina has the biggest wolf spider in the world.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. And they carry their babies on the back. And I thought many spiders do that, but they're one of maybe two that carry their babies on their backs. And they don't have webs. They're ground dwelling spiders, and they will chase you because they are aggressive. And when I did work at the vape store, we found a female. We found the male first. He was in the bathroom. Well, they mate. It's not just one and one. They mate. So we knew that the female was near. And the motherfucker was huge. And we took some nicotine and killed him because he was creepy. And then my boss said, Tiffany, do not go into the office. So what did my ass do? Of course, I went into the office. And there was the mom, and she had all of about 300 babies on her back.
Thank you, precious gal.
And he stepped on her.
Hey, lip gloss. Oh, no. I know what happened. Oh, no.
About half of those babies scattered.
Mm.
And I said,
Oh.
I'm going home. And I went home and didn't go back for 2 days.
Yep,
So-
I made the mistake of hitting one with a broom one time, and they went oh.
See, we have woodland scorpions too. Now, scorpions carry their babies on their backs as well. And yeah, my daddy stepped on one before. That was not fun.
Love you too, lip gloss kitten.
But anyway, thank you for letting me come back up here, even though I said I'm going to bed like 15 million times.
I knew with all your capitals and exclamation points. But I'm glad that y'all, I love a good debate. I love it. Now, tomorrow night, everybody at 9:30 Central, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Pacific, Eastern. No, shit, I don't know. Yabba time. 9:30 Yabba
time.
We will be having Paula's coming back up.
Nice.
We have Liz to get your cards read. So we'll be doing that tomorrow night.
And Randy, and I do ask that everybody please check out my videos. They're under a playlist called History. They're really important. We really have to stop this in our educational system. Absolutely have to stop this, because I run polls before I do a video, and I ask if people have learned about what I want to do a video about, and 9 times out of 10, absolutely no one has even heard of it. And I had one person that lives in Cincinnati, when I did the Cincinnati one, message me saying, I live in Cincinnati and I've never heard of this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. One more question. Love Shack said that she orders wolf piss granules and spreads them along the green belts. What pray tell are you keeping away with wolf piss granules, and do I need to buy them?
Does that keep spiders away?
I don't know. Love Shack.
Night, IBL. If it's a non-drama night. Coyotes. It keeps coyotes.
Oh. Well, we don't have that problem, so I guess I'm not buying wolf piss.
No.
All right.
Sure. Even if you don't want your cards read, I'm getting sleepy. I can't talk. It's interesting to hear other people get their cards read, and Paula's just really, she's calming, and it makes you feel good. I know a lot of people aren't into it, but I some people are, so that's just.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I'll definitely be here.
I think it is. All right. Well, good. I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Thanks for coming up, Minnie.
Thank you for letting me stay up without getting too angry at me. I'm glad that you know I'm just very loud.
Yeah, I didn't get angry at you at all. I just, I respect both of y'all. So I was like, okay, hey, talk. Y'all just don't attack. Which I knew he wouldn't, but
well, that's why I kind of brought it back, because I had to get my point across, and it was very, very in my head right at that moment. And so I was like, blah, 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 and then that's why I was like, listen, I'm not attacking you. I'm not talking bad about you. I just get very, very excited. Good night, guys. Bye, BLF. And just so you know, I know that you weren't being mean to me.
Yeah, no. I thought it was a healthy debate.
Definitely.
We started off with a tiny bit of drama, but we ended up on a good note, and I'm glad. I really like that.
Me too. Yeah. I mean, we all have to learn different sides of everything, even if we are too stubborn to actually want to learn them. I'm one of those people, I will admit, but I will listen, and I did listen.
Yes, and agreeing to disagree sometimes is the best route.
Right, exactly. Thank you guys for not crucifying me too much for being too passionate and loud, because I can be rude. I know I can be, and I do apologize.
No, you're good. You don't have anything to apologize for.
Well, I'm gonna throw my Twitter in the chat one more time, okay?
Yes.
Please, if you don't have me on my new Twitter since my other one got banned, please add me. Thank you.
Precious, thank you so much. True Helper's always a gentleman. You should have seen him when he worked first. Oh. Wonderful.
Well, I'm glad that I calmed down and spoke to him more calmly, Precious. So thank you for saying that, and I will get to know him better.
You're sweet. everybody, thank you so much for joining us. And I'll see y'all tomorrow night.
Good night, guys. I'll be here tomorrow. Bye. I love
Bye.
you too, Skippy. Bye.
Love y'all. Bye.